Hey guys, give me a couple minutes. All game started without me. I was like a minute away from joining League Mobile. Just because I was sorting out some admin stuff, so give me a couple minutes. I'm just wrapping a couple of admin things up so that when we actually do go live, we will actually be pretty much good to go with games and stuff. So and be able to pay full attention. So stay there. Be right back. I'll not be long. I just put another 3 minutes on the countdown, I think, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, hello guys. Thank you for a bit of patience to start us off today. I tried to get into a game, and every game I went to get into just started, and I think it's just because because there's a predetermined map to start on today, there was no vetoing, so I didn't get the extra couple of minutes that I usually spend adminning, and so then I didn't get into anything, so I thought, you know what, let's just get everything sorted, and then we'll go live and talk properly just as, you know, we move through and so on. So, with all that sorted out, we're going to be moving into our bracket. I'm not sure what we're actually going to cast. I know Indy's in game with a series. I kind of wouldn't mind catching game 2 of Nikaract Nightmare, maybe. I think that's the most interesting round of 16. Looks as though Mana and Geralt are still in game 1 of their PvP on Indy's stream as well. So there's a few different matches going on. What we are going to do today, guys, is obviously, first of all, it's new map, so this is the Team Liquid map contest qualifier, so the top 4 qualify, which means only the round of 8 gets played so the round of 8 will be played. But we're going to cast all the qualifying matches. Now, they're not all going to be live. I think we're going to try and do 2 live and then 2 from replays that were just played. But basically, the concept is just that we are going to... we're just going to try and cast at least those 4 best of 3s, and then obviously we're trying to get into a round of 16 right now as well. So, I think Nightmare and Nikaract's a good one to get into because Shin is playing Ordinary already, so that might just be ready to go as one of the earlier round of 8s that is able to start. So yeah, basically, we're going to be mostly just casting qualifying matches today. Typically, what would happen is, say we, if we casted a round of 8, we'd then do both semis and a finals, and that's like 4 series from the round of 8 on. So this should still play out kind of roughly towards the same kind of, vibe as what an Open Cup plays out as. Just going to be a little different in terms of the format and exactly how it comes along. So just give you guys a bit of info on that one as we get ready to rumble. So yeah, we are just gonna... I think we'll wait for Nightmare and Nikaract to come out of game there. 12 minutes in game, so we should be seeing them making progress sooner rather than later. What's up, Kaio Kangan? Thank you so much for the 31-month resub. Appreciate you. Thank you for resubscribing. Appreciate you guys, obviously, trying to get back on track with the sub count and everything. Obviously, I know I've been away, I got married, and took some time out. From here on out until pretty much the end of the year, yeah, from here until pretty much the end of the year, I'm away a couple of weekends, but I'm not going away for like a 4 or 5 day period again. So we should have pretty much from here on out like constant StarCraft. Really hoping to finish the year off with a bang, basically. So, and when I say that, like, I want to try and run some events. I want to try and get the sub count back up and stuff, and just get a lot of momentum behind us. I'm a little bit strapped for cash right now. Like, I'm in this weird position where, like, I really want to run the Korean Royale Season 4, for example, and the end-of-year WardiTV Championship, but we're just in this little bit of a weird money spot where, like, it's a little bit tough to afford things, so not exactly 100% sure where we're going to go with all that, but we're working on it. I just need a couple of payments to come through to know that I can definitely make it work, so yeah. Just waiting on a couple of things TLDR, but the hope is that we can get Korean Royale back up and running. I'd love to get Korean Royale. I think what we might do is we might run a smaller event in October, then run Korean Royale throughout November. And then if we run Korean Royale throughout November, the goal being that we end the year with the end of year championship, basically. So that's kind of what we're playing for. So I think that probably makes more sense. I think if we just do an October tournament and just do that as like a little $1,000 cup, because otherwise I'm gonna probably struggle to afford everything I want to afford to run, is the reality of it. There's Liu Cups on Wednesdays now, though, so I can schedule those in. That'll fill out the weeks a bit. Yeah. Just got some week filling to do, basically. So, yeah, we'll work on that, but that's just TLDR, what's roughly coming up, obviously. Yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting on some Patreon payments and so on and stuff, so to really run some of the bigger things again. Just recovering from paying for that heckin' wedding, huh? Anyways, yes. So, with all that said, like I said, right now we're just waiting for Nikaract and Nightmare to finish. They're currently 14 minutes in game. Typically, they're not just going to play a 5-minute banger of a game one. They're going to play a nice drawn-out game just to really rub it in that we missed that opening map. So, apologies to you guys on that one. Obviously, this is a day as well, which is going to be focused around the new maps. We'll talk a lot about the maps as we get in game and stuff as well. So yeah, I really thought Nikaract and Nightmare would come out of game soon, but apparently not just yet. You know, it's Labor. Congrats on getting married. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's crazy. We are almost a month away from it having happened. Oh. Kind of wild. Yeah, we'll get, like I said, obviously, for the end of the year, I really want to get the stream back. I want to say, like, back on track. Like, it's been one of these, I mean, every year right now is a bit weird because, obviously, we have EWC, whether it's going to happen or not, we don't know, etc., etc. We've been pretty good at streaming this year, but, yeah, definitely want to try and get back on it in the next 2-3 months. We're going to be, like I say, because from here on out, I'm only away for like a weekend here or a weekend there. It's actually mostly in October. I actually go away this weekend, and then 2 weekends from now, and then 2 weekends again. But they're like for 2 or 3 days at a time, rather than these like bigger chunks of time off. So with that in mind, we're going to be pretty focused on just grinding, getting some games in, getting some StarCraft out, all that good stuff. That's kind of our plan. We're just going to really focus on doing some SC2, so... yeah, very exciting. But yeah, hopefully you can just find a way to do some StarCraft every day. Anyways, I'm really feeling like I really genuinely thought Nightmare and Nikaract would be ready by now, but we are still in the process of killing some time. So if you guys have got any questions or anything, feel free to ask away. I would bring the maps up, but the problem is I don't want to go full screen to show the maps on screen, etc. Because I'm sat here staring at Nightmare and Nikaract's on my friend list, so I can join them as soon as that game finishes. So I don't want to tab out to show stuff, tab in, and they've started game 2 already, you know. So they're playing a hell of a game apparently. 70 minutes, of course they are. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was honestly like, I was like 5 seconds off from joining this one. Like they were still in the chat. I clicked join. They were already counting down, unfortunately, so... we're here for some StarCraft action and not talk show. Where are the fights? I mean, if you're here for some StarCraft action, you're also here to listen to what I'm saying, which would probably mean you'd know already the answer to your question. Brilliant, huh? But if you guys, I mean, you know what? Chat interaction, talking about the talk show, we could extend the talk show. Could I ask them to share the replay? Maybe I could cast it later. I might. We'll see how the rest of the games go today. Show him the back carrier battlecruiser. Yeah, should we cast the carrier battlecruiser fight? Ay. 19 minutes in game, of course they are. I love it. I hate it for me, but I love it for them. I'm so happy for you guys. You here for the talk show? SCT's been an unbalanced mess for a while. Yeah, you're just here for the Wardy chat. Well, that's good. That's what I like to hear. The bottom spawn on Throne of Dunes is bugged. What's up with it? There's a spot the cam shoots up. Is it like unplayable bugged, or is it like slightly annoying bugged? Are the male and female ghosts different? Yeah, I saw this. I saw this. I heard about this. That's funny. That the female ghost model was taking more supply. It's wild. It's annoying. Okay. It's in the middle of main, nat third. I'll pass it on. It has been passed on. Just joking around. It's okay. The problem with joking around in Twitch and YouTube chat is that what I would, you know, in my more innocent days, I would have assumed everyone was joking around with these things, but some people say these things and they're dead serious. They're like, hello, I've tuned into this free stream expecting to watch StarCraft 2, and I've waited 7 minutes with no game on the screen, and I would like a refund. Now, I didn't pay anything, so the only thing I've given is my time, and I'd like a refund of that. Obviously, you can't give time back. You're not a Time Lord. So I want money in return for my time wasted waiting for start. And I'm just like... I'm just, okay, bro, chill out. Take a moment. Aye. But some people are, like, seriously like that, you know? Like, you know, that sounds like a joke. It's like, ha, ha, ha. And then they're like, I'm dead serious. I'm literally making the Reddit thread right now. And I'm just like, I'm so terrified and threatened by this, you know? You hear correctly, a female ghost takes more supply? Yes, so I think what's happened is when they've changed the ghost supply, because every so often when you make a ghost, it can spawn as like a Nova ghost with this Nova skin. And apparently they haven't edited the number on it, so apparently the Nova skin ghosts are 3 supply, while normal ghosts are 2 supply. Isn't that incredible? Does that mean that what I want to know is obviously when you build a unit, when you start queuing it up, it already goes into the it already takes up supply, right? So when you start building a ghost, does it preemptively know it's going to be a Nova ghost and take up 3 supply straight away instead of 2 supply? That's what I'm not sure about just yet. So yeah, that's the best bug you've heard of. Yeah, it's a funny one. You know what it is? The female ghost skin I think is rare enough that it's not going to influence games. So of all the things to be bugged, like it's kind of fine. It's not like the male ghost skin is bugged, and so basically the change didn't go through. It should be minimal enough. It shouldn't affect things, right? Obviously, maybe somewhere somehow it does. Is it tagged light? I don't know. I just saw the Reddit thread. Yeah, I just saw the Reddit thread. Amazing. Alright, looks as though Nightmare is hosting up a lobby for Game 2 here. Looks as though they were just taking a moment or two to have a look at the maps. Nikaract is winning 1-0. Guys, hello? The Terran Underdog has taken a map off the Protoss player. I repeat, the Terran Underdog has taken a map off the Protoss player. This is it, guys. You know, based on yesterday's reactions when Terrans lost a couple maps to Protoss players, that was the end of the world. Terran was doomed, PvT was still screwed. So what I think we can take away from this one map score right now is that this is it. Protoss is once again being screwed over by the patch. They're never going to win a world championship. They're impossible to play. We need to go back to buffing Protoss. Right now. Unbelievable. Is there a chance they can fix bugs at the same time as upload new maps? I think fixing bugs like that is pretty easy to do, honestly. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. I don't think we'll have to wait for new maps to come out for that to specifically happen. So yeah, I don't think that's really too much of a thing. Do we think we'll get a clem port rate? Absolutely not. There's no way we're gonna get a clem port rate put in game. I don't think they know how to do that anymore. Who's even gonna? I mean, they're gonna have to like get someone to prove that it's okay, and I think that's way beyond the capabilities of whatever's going on right now. Is there no clem port rate in the game at all because you just never had one in the past? I guess not, right? Kind of wild. There's a TVT finals in the Korean qualifiers for Stellarfest. Oh, I didn't even look at the results of that. Oh, give me a sec. I want to see. What happened. Typically, we get in game and then you guys are like, "Hey, whoa! Don't forget this thing happened." I was like, "No." Oh, ByuN beating Maru. Oh, ho, ho. Spicy. That is spicy. Oh, very cool. Congrats to ByuN. Alright. And kick off into our games here though. Let's get to I forget I'm the observer, so me being tabbed out doesn't really help us right now. You wonder what all-in he did? He did an all-in that lasted 20 minutes. So yeah. Now, knowing Nikaract, he probably got very aggressive, and he maybe took a pretty big lead off of a commitment early in the game, but it was a 20-minute game, so... This is Old Republic. Obviously, these are new maps. Let's have a look at what we're working with. I'm so excited. It's always so much fun when we get to the new maps and everything here in the Team Liquid map contest. Obviously, this is just a qualifier today. It is sponsored by Monster Energy, but we'll talk more about that properly next week when the official tournament kicks off. Today, we just get to use these new maps and get excited about them a little bit and all of that good stuff and get a first glance at a few. We are only using 7 of the maps right now. I randomized the maps and... took the first one. Oh, I randomized all 16 maps, and I took the first one. I took the top maps that came out of my randomizer, eliminating any map that had already... eliminating basically any map maker that already had a map picked for today. I mean, this is a very minimal thing, but obviously this is a day where we're going to see some new maps in extra time, so I want to just try and make it fair. It is a little bit extreme to have, you know, 16 maps in the map pool. Usually when we have the TLMC tournament, what happens is we have 5 maps per series set out. So people play like 5 maps per series, and we play, you know, it just makes it a little bit easier. Obviously, I don't want everyone to have to look through 16 maps and be like, well, what the hell map am I going to pick next, you know? So we only have 7 maps for today to try and help things be sped up a little bit, basically. And, yeah, because of that, you'll only see a few of the maps today, and they are spread out. They were kind of pretty much just randomly picked, so... As you can see, the grenade there going to bop, a Reaper going to take down. And get that going. Randomizing might leave out some maps. Why not in order? Because... because some maps were going to get left out anyway. Some maps were being left out anyway, so... Definitely a factor. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that basically that the maps that are the randomization is just I randomized 7 maps that would be played today, and they are part of the map pool. Some of them might not even get picked to play today. They're just 7 available maps. There's no different to just picking the 7 first maps in the list as well. It's just then the benefit was that they were just listed first because of alphabetical order or something. So I just took 7 random names instead. Anyways, Hellions are going to get in, and they're going to get rid of a few probies. 5 workers going down. As you see, the Stalkers gathering up, a couple of Barracks, and the Raven joining together there as well. We had a couple of Marines on. The Adepts are going to shove on over. We are going to be seeing those couple of Adepts continue to maneuver around. 5 workers on each side, so quite a bit of damage done, as it is going to be Nikaract in some trouble still with those Stalkers approaching the front. This is a low ground, no ramp scenario, right? So this is one of the more difficult naturals to defend. Pros can sit here and just poke at that bunker without having to fight for high ground vision. So it is a more difficult natural to defend. I think with the general idea of being a 3 base setup is pretty safe to take, because it's all collected together and there's a ramp in front of that 3rd base as well. So I imagine that is part of the idea. As you're going to see the Stalkers commit onto that bunker. A few more SCVs could be used there to really repair that bunker. We're actually going to push this away anyway. Dropping the auto turret to help us out. The Adepts try and shade through, but the depots were raised, and that's a good defense. But now the Stalkers going to go to the main base. That's why you have to start being very good here, as we're going to lose Stimpack. It's only about halfway done. It's not the end of the world. We're going to start on the 2nd tech lab. Need to repair that tech lab, right? We really do want to keep Stim alive here. I mean, like I say, one of the benefits of that Stim is it wasn't too far along. So I don't hate this. There was a lot of SCVs pulled. The tank is now in position to cover pretty much this entire area of the Blink-In. So it's a good Blink-In map, but it's also very narrow in some regards. Like, it's easy to get in position to Blink-In. But it's also, I think, well defended or easily defended by a tank. So in that regard, it looks like a well-designed main base for Terran playing some defense. Fire going to be there. Stalkers get pushed the other direction. We just have the Stim and so continue to come about for the moment. Prism coming about. We get settled in, and we are going to be seeing these Stalkers joining as we look to make a little bit of a play around. Ready to maybe blink into that main base very soon. The storm coming up. And next coming about, Gates coming up. Stim combat shield on the way, adding concussive shells. That's going to be the bio upgrades that's going to power Nikaract here for the next phase of this game. Tanks coming across. Fiazzi is going down. Sorry, I just had an admin issue. For once, we actually have admin things happen beyond the 5-minute marker of the tournament because people are reporting a couple of blips with the maps, so just letting people know a couple of things that are going on. As the bio continues to settle down, we are going to see Combat Shield and Concussive Shell coming up, Marine Marauder, Medevac coming over, Zeld on the way, Charge coming through. Just going to see the rest of this army continue to settle at the front for the moment. Anti-armor missile going to land as we do stim forward right away here. One storm coming down, a couple of marines going the other way, a couple of tanks going to be able to try and push further forward. This is your moment for Nikaract. How many High Templar have we got? 3 High Templar, 2 are pretty okay on energy right now. Did we just lose one straight away? Yes, we did. Oh my god, the High Templar are gone. Well, there's still a couple in the Prism as well. It's not a bad start at all. Where's the next storm going to come down? We're not going to drop it yet. One of the funny things with Storm right now is if you storm like this, you can't chase in as much as you used to be able to, because nowadays you would actually genuinely take a lot of damage. That kind of storm is very powerful. Hitting the siege tank there does a lot, and obviously now the tanks are pretty much at the point of dying when that happens. Nikaract going to say GG. This 2-base attack was not getting it done, and Nightmare gets the defense down the ramp and into freedom from his 3rd base. Woof, 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 says Ellie. Comes in with some info. As, we will take a moment, guys, and jump into game 3 of this Nikaract versus Nightmare series. Alright, just waiting for Nikaract. And Nikaract to basically pick his map here, essentially. So just get him going. And we can kick this off, guys. Give me 1 second, just need to tab into Discord for a moment. Sorry guys, 1 sec, I'll take us in game momentarily. I just need to read something quickly. Alright, thank you. Let's take it, and we will resume the series. So it's game 3, we're going to go to Ruby Rock. As we get into game 3 of our matchup here. So, let's get this one underway. In the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player is going to be Nikaract. And he takes on the orange Protoss. In the top left-hand corner, we have Nightmare. Been well over a decade, you still haven't gotten sick of that guitar riff in game. StarCraft music is so good. I wonder when you make music, if oh my god, no, sorry, my breath just caught. I wonder if when you make music, you can tell something's going to be like timeless. You know, like obviously they knew this was good, but I wonder if they knew it was going to be like as listenable as it is, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to obviously think it's good and you hope it's like that. But I wonder if you know when you make it, you're like, man, I really think people will be able to listen to this forever, because I really can. Now, obviously, it's not like I'm just going to whack it on my Spotify and listen to it, you know, I'm not doing much else, but, like, it's such a good compliment. It doesn't overtake the game, but it's still, you know, it's still, you know, something you can kind of make out. It's still identifiable. It's really great. Is there a map called Missing You Today? I believe there is. Yes, there is. Some of the map names this time are a little bit... You know what? This season's maps, I feel like usually we have names where it's like, well, how the hell do I begin to say that? Because it's some Greek, you know, Greek princess, goddess who got slain by the seventh son of Billy Bob, you know, or whatever, or it's some star alignment or something like this. This time I feel like the map names this time I feel like are much more like, they're much more, you know how to say them, but they're just phrases, which are just like, it sounds so wrong for calling a map like some of these things, so it'll be interesting. Super the Hellion joined up. This is Ruby Rock, another map with natural that has no ramp down. The third base is a similar story. It's actually funny because you get 4 bases, all high ground here. In fact, all these bases are all in the same layer. There's a little bit of a dip down here, but you can go up to 5 bases without ever stepping down to the low ground, right? Which is actually a pretty powerful factor a lot of the time, so that's a pretty interesting way to look at things initially. Reaper Hellion is going to come across and just poke around. A couple of the Adepts in the Stalk are going to sit there. Adepts going to shade about. See the Hellions able to threaten. I like the split on the Reapers and the Hellions because then the Reapers get set up. Just going to be seeing the Stalker getting nibbled at. Going to go down. This is a dead Stalker, so that's a really nice catch. So the Stalker falls. The Blink's still halfway done. A couple of gateways coming into play. Robotics facility coming online as well. And yeah, those few units just going to sit out the front and looking cozy for the moment. Dropping a little mule down, Marine Cyclone gathering together. We have the gateway and the robotics facility added on, add a blink into that as well. And that stim pack also producing here on this barracks. Again, our stim pack up and rolling, add a combat shield to that as well. Just getting set up nicely. We'll just see our Reaper Hellion going to take a step over this left-hand side. A chance to maybe move in toward the natural here in the next few moments. On Ruby Rock. I like this map. It's pretty. You know what, honestly, like, my first impressions of maps usually in these events are, is it pretty? And I like it. It's a bit of a duller tone, you know, it's not like the bright colors, but it's a pretty set of dull tones. And I don't say dull as in uninteresting, just like darker. You know, the darker red and the grays and stuff. I really like these, kind of color combos. Yeah, this map looks interesting. Obviously, you know, when we see these maps, you can say, you know, make some very broad statements initially, and we will see some things as the games play, but you're never going to learn the ins and outs of the maps in the 5 to 10 times that we see them over the course of the next week and a half in the TLMC tournament, which is why they're also encouraging all the weekly cups to use as many of these maps as possible to get them seen a little bit more as well. Stalker step through. I'm just going to see a Marine going down. The Marauder getting pushed back. As the Blink up is going to get us a couple of kills. Going to go after the tech lab that is not researching anything. Maybe could have had Stim if he full-on right-clicked that tech lab. He's going to go for it now, but that's actually concussive shells that's building. This is great, but we're going to have to recall. And the fact that Stim is done is scary because it means that you are going to be full power stimming into this natural nightmare. There's not going to have a lot here, guys. Battery gets depowered. Tanks are sieging. These Stalkers may have to blink in. No, they're blinking back. I don't love that at all, as now the tanks just need to target fire Stalkers, and they are. Good job by Nikaract doing the exact right thing, as Nikaract hits hard. And for the damage Nightmare did, it's not going to be good enough. Nikaract will get to the qualifying match. Wow, wow, wow. There's a little result for you guys. Nikaract to the qualifying series. What? What's happened? Nikaract is going to play Chance as an Ordinary has 2-1 over Shin. Shin is eliminated as well. What the hell does that mean? That is an upset. That is absolutely bonkers and cray-cray. Actually bonkers and cray-cray. Holy shoot. That's actually crazy. Oh, this bracket just got messed up, bro. Alright, we're gonna go Rogue versus ZOUN for our first qualifying matchup, guys. So we'll get that underway in a few moments. Get that sorted out. Okay, so Shin and Nightmare both get eliminated. Talk about a couple of upsets. That is actually a little bit crazy. Alright, let's throw this into the CVP then, guys. Give me a second. Can I message? Do we think that barcode is Riong? Give me a second. Never mind. Give me 1 second, just relogging on my alt account to go and tell people to wait and stuff. Alright, this is Magnetic North. We're going to see a lot of Magnetic North because it's the starting map for this round. So we're going to see all 4 best of 3s. We're going to end up seeing Magnetic North here. So this is going to be one of the more played maps just today just because of the way that it works. That's just a little bit of a heads up on that. Perfect. Alright, put myself back over here. Perfect. Alright, let's get into this. So it's going to be ZOUN versus Rogue as we get this set up and ready to rumble. Call coming up. I'm just going to be seeing the next coming through. Hatch, gas, and pool on the way in. Just take a couple of moments. We get settled, and we look to see what is going to happen. Yeah, next on the Cybercore building, a couple of queens and the lings all coming through as well. This probe just going to start moving out onto the map for a couple of moments. Ling's going to go around, going to try and grab that probie, so just looking for the opportunity here. And yeah, just looking for some options. As you have the Ling speed and the Ling's building, the Stargate coming up, Warp Gate on the way in. So yeah, Ling speed coming up, Queen of the Drones coming through. The Adept and the Oracle just continue to build about as that probe comes into the natural. And just going to be seeing, yeah, the Oracle and the Warp Gates coming around there. Third hatchery drops down onto the bottom side. Just going to get that rolling. Let's have a look at the map. Obviously, we're going to get familiar with this one. We're going to see it 4 times because, like I say, it is just going to be the starting map for each of these round of 8 qualifying series. So, it's Magnetic North. Like I say, just good fortune that this came out to be the map that we're probably going to end up seeing the most on stream. Main base looks pretty regular. Not really a lot of jump into the main base potential. Maybe over here, but it's not a huge space. There's obviously some dead airspace from this low ground into that base, but I imagine we're going to, a lot of the time, expand upwards here because you naturally go main, natural. This is definitely the third more so than over here a lot of the time, I'd imagine. So yeah, that kind of leaves this as like, if an army jumps from here to here, it's positioned down there anyway, right? So then, you know, you're meant to kind of have an awareness of what's going on over in that sort of a location. as the 3 drones come up. And obviously then we've got the middle of the map, which has this kind of line of high ground down through it. There's going to be a half base here, so there's some ice that breaks down as well, that opens that space up, and then you're going to have a rich Vespene to take that too. That's something we might not see in all the games today, but it is something to maybe keep in mind for later on in these games. If we do start to go later game, it's going to be some interest. Oracle's going to fly up. It's the Queen immediately, which isn't too bad. Going to see 3 drones going down. They didn't host this with GameHard, guys, so apologies in advance for the lack of workers showing up on the side of your screen or anything. As the melee upgrade comes through, 6 more drones on the way out, and it's a Forge that's being added on as well. So getting straight to the Forge. Blink in production. A few more drones coming out. The lair is on the way. Oracle back into the center of the map here as well, as you just see the Forge, the probes. And again, a few little bits and pieces coming about. There are the Adepts going to also make their step into the center of the map here. Queens will be positioned nicely just to turn the Oracle, turn the Adepts around. We see a few of those Adepts attempting to shade into the natural expansion here as well. They're going to get caught by a few Zerglings. The Feelings getting a catch. The Adepts continue to make their way through. And again, a few of those drones already dropping. The Queens will gather up. Drones taking some damage. A couple of those dropping as well. We will see the Adepts. They're going to go and make their way into that main mineral line where we see a bunch of Lings are going down. The drones are falling off. Queens will be successful. Get rid of those Adepts. That will be a kill. And now +1 and Blink still on the way up. So we finally clean up the aggression. What's done is done. 7 drones, 14 Lings, 1 dead Oracle, and 4 Adepts is, I think, okay. I think Rogue is okay with this. I think ZOUN is like, it's alright. He would have, obviously rather not lost the Oracle. If he hadn't lost the Oracle, I think he's happy with it too. So I think both players have their reasons to be happy. As ZOUN is going to go into Storm nice and quickly here. So we are going to get a look at that new Storm. Obviously, these are not just new maps, but the new patch is officially live. With that new live patch, Storm is different, and very excited to see how it works out. Excited to see what happens with this Storm and all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty interesting as we get going. Apparently the late game bases all have reduced resources. I can click on them, but what are the late game bases? Just the middle of the map? I think it just means the I think it just means this, where it's like if you go late game, the middle of the map is like 4 mineral patches. It's like a half base, no? This is a 6, yeah, this is a 6 patch as well. So yeah, it's just, so there are just less patches on some of the further out bases. This is also 6, okay, so there is some 6 patches. Is that a double mineral field? Wait, are they... Why are they selecting twice? Are there twice as many minerals that just stacked so you can only mine 1 at a time? Is that a thing, or am I just being crazy? Because they are... It looks like they're stacked, no? Does it mention that in the map description? That might not be deliberate. Oh yeah, we can check the other bases. Yeah, it's just this base here. Okay, so it's the bottom right. Second from bottom right, second from top left base has double stacked minerals. Hang on, I'll just report that. Okay, report that one. I don't think it's double minerals because it's only showing 3 minerals. I just don't know why it's showing double selection. So it might just be something with the way they're positioned on the map or so, which might be an even easier fix. We do have our map admin on hand, so they are making fixes as necessary on these maps. So yeah, sorry, just reporting that ASAP so we can maybe get it fixed for future games. As you do see a little bit of the Ling Bane Hydra looking to get through there. Storm kind of sticks around for a couple of moments, nothing too crazy. Lurkers are going to unburrow and reposition out over the right side. Now the rest of the Ling Bane gathering up as well. A few more Lurkers on the way in. And we have ourselves Seismic Spines, Adrenal Glands, +2 melee, +2 missiles. Building up, the Dropper Lords begin to make a bit of a movement out down on the bottom of the map as we see Lings, Hydras, Banes readying an attack in on the left side as well. Archon the Stalker just going to be there. A couple of Lings taking damage. The Lurkers are going to be burrowed up again. We're just going to see the High Tempo already taking shots. The Lings running on the right-hand side. Storm dropping. Lurkers taking a good position here. Obviously, Storm is a bit buffed against Lurkers because you can, in theory, right, drop a Storm on a Lurker. It's going to do more damage overall to that Lurker. It's, what, 140 damage now? So you take a Lurker down to like 25% HP just by one Storm. And obviously, the Lurker can unburrow and move out of it. And I imagine that's a big part of the idea of what happens. Right now, these Lurkers are not being answered well enough. The Tempests are here, and the Tempest will eventually clean up. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about, but the Storm does last a while, so you've got time to reposition the Lurkers from the Storm. Obviously, we always think about moving out of Storm has to be like an immediate effect. Like, you've got to get Unsiege moved right now. But with this new Storm, obviously, it lasts longer, so while we're talking about 140 damage, it does take 6 seconds to do that, and that is an extended period of time for the most part. Tempest and the Archon is going to be coming chasing up. Just going to be having the Queen is going to get hunted down for a couple of moments as well. Crypt Tumor is being picked away at, and we are going to be seeing the Lurkers on the way up. I missed several interactions between the players because of my mineral stuff. I mean, this is a map test tournament. It is literally my job to make sure that the maps get fixed so that when we have the rest of the tournament next week, we don't have any game-breaking bugs happening. So I'd rather miss 2 minutes of bits and pieces here on this game than potentially next week have a 30-minute delay because the map is broken, because someone tries to mine this base and drones explode or something crazy. So forgive me for, you know, prioritizing, but yeah. I was just trying to figure out what it was. It shouldn't have taken as long as it did to be fair. I just need to figure out what was up. Figure out what to report. Anyways, just going to be seeing the Tempests obviously really are a big part of this game at this point. But Corruptor's coming out. They're going to be a big help against it. Rogue supply looking good. Rogue has looked a bit shaky the last couple of days when we've been watching some of his games. So it'll be fun to see if he can kind of bring it back here a little bit against ZOUN, who has been, yeah, around and about and continue to do well lately as well. Ling Hydra coming across. We hope the bug you found in White Rabbit is fixed. I believe it's already fixed, Bracknell. Thank you for letting us know. I think I didn't stop to read the message I got in reply, but I think they said that. So you know, I'll check on the other screen. Yeah, already fixed, White Rabbit. Apparently, this there's an ice doodad. There's an ice doodad that makes the minerals click funny. So that's our response to this one. Does not seem to be a major issue. All good, as long as it's not a major issue, then that's all fine and dandy. Mothership coming about, +3 attack, +2 air weapons coming in. We're going to see Lings, Hydras running their way down to the bottom side of the map. You're actually going to get a little bit of a surround on the Zealots already. It's a nice pick-off. I tell you what, these units having +2 attack upgrades, you're seeing the firepower of that really come to life here. So Ling Hydra runs in here. Not going to have many Lurkers with this just yet. Lurker count is still at 13. They're mostly positioned to the top of the map. We also have just an Overlord here worth checking in case that was a Dropper Lord maybe setting up to do something funky in the next few moments. As you can see, it is not. Now we collect everything together as well. Fun map because you can obviously see what's really interesting, I think, is that from here you can kind of go here or here, but through some choke points. But to come in from the bottom side of this base, you really have to go all the way around. So this access point is actually very difficult to surround in on. So it's a multi-prongable base, but from a position that's difficult to set up the multi-prong for. I don't like it, actually. It's kind of cool the way that it's working in my head, at least for now. We'll see a bit more of how it works in practice. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe just knocking down some rocks and opening this space to attack in more easily from one direction may just be more than enough anyway, right? So we're going to send a few Lings down over onto this Nexus. The Nexus will immediately start to take some damage. fling Lurk Corruptor up to the top side. We are going to see the few Zealots in the top. They want to get turned away as well as the rest of the Lurkers continue to come out and about. Chasing those Zealots down, and the army going to collect together once again. The Crypt Team is getting picked away at, so it's going to be ZOUN to feel a bit more confident moving into the middle of the map at the moment. Taking a couple of seconds here. It's going to be seeing a Time Warp coming down, Storms coming in, Lings, Hydras looking to try and collapse in on this just for a moment or two. We are going to pop the cloaking on the Mothership to try and help us out here as the Chitinous plating comes up, and a lot more Corruptors continue to head into the later stage of the game. I'm just going to shoot. Just going to be seeing the Lurkers actually in some trouble. We need these Corruptors to be able to get involved. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult moment or two here for Rogue, who 17 new Corruptors. So he's going to have a lot of anti-air available very, very soon. Just needs to kind of get to the point where that is truly fully active. Plus 3 air weapons coming up. The armor upgrade. Chrono boosting on the Forge as well. And that plus 2 flyer attack. Chitinous plating all being added in right now. Corruptors, Lurkers, and the Spines coming through here. And the army is down, still centralizing itself and finding a few more creep cubes to kind of go after for the next little bit of time as well. It's just going to go after a little bit of those. The Changeling is going to step by once more. We'd go back and forth again. The Lings, the Lurkers still setting up. I mean, we're kind of getting bullied, but I do feel like Rogue is getting more of an answer on board. Just needs to find himself the fight he's looking for. Maybe he could do with adding a couple of spellcasters on. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. If you can add a couple of spellcasters on here, then I really like his chances a lot more. He's going to go for a greatest fight. I mean, he's got a ton of Corruptors. Having a way to make those useful beyond their Corruptor lifespan is not a bad thing. I'm loving how this map is playing so far. I'm not going to lie. I think it's working great. Going to see a couple Storms coming down. Going to see this push coming straight through. We are going to see, obviously, ZOUN committing to this. Rogue coming in. Those Storms are so good in this scenario. Where the Corruptors are, like, standing to take the fight, it takes so long for them to kind of get through the fight there. And that's a massive factor to go back and forth a little further. Army coming down to that bottom right side as well. And we just have plus 3 air weapons, plus 2 armor. Continue to come up. Overlord going down. It's going to be a supply blocked Rogue. What's up, Danny the Veteran? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 39-month resub. Love to see it, mate. Thank you so much for supporting, subscribing, and helping us keep on running StarCraft. There's that Overlord, by the way. It's been sat on the 9 o'clock this entire time, and it finally is making moves to drop some Niduses. Not going to do much straight away. Rogue maxed out instantly after that previous fight, by the way. ZOUN also has a good bit of money for the moment. So looking good in that regard as we just have, again, the Ultras coming up. I love the Neural Parasite. I think that's a great addition right here as well. I think I like where Rogue is getting to. It's just, it is scary that he's lost so many Corruptors and didn't really touch the Tempests. What we're getting to is maybe an army that is going to aim to be able to run in and not really have to respect the Tempest at all. That one Zealot is perfectly on time to get rid of that Nidus. That's beautiful as well. Good defense. 5 base Protoss. Is it difficult for ZOUN to step towards base 6 is maybe a good question, right? It's either up here, down here, or this kind of half base. It's a little bit of an interesting one in terms of where he goes for this next base, and that might be one of the tough factors. Now, a 5 base Protoss is going to have quite a lot of time to work with just on 5 bases, so 5 bases for now is absolutely A-okay, but it is something to think on as we continue to move through. A couple Zealots retreat away, the Lurker Hydra moving about as well. Few Zerglings get straight in after a couple of those Zealots. We are going to be able to catch one Zealot already into the upper right-hand side. The Hydra's now stepping through and pushing about as we see the Mothership, the Immortals, and Shadow Stride all continue to come online as well. Archon Tempest Templar in the center. There's that Microbial Shroud, another upgrade for the Infestors. Microbial Shroud now reduces the range attack damage of units as well. So maybe, just maybe, we are thinking Microbial Shroud in our army could be big against these Archons and Immortals. It's one of the bigger question marks from the PTR where people are like, if you can use it, it's extremely good, but first you have to be able to use it. So, Yeah, definitely a factor. It's just going to be seeing the Archon Tempest gathering up the High Templar coming over as well. Just going to see a few Zerglings stepping around. Also trying to see what else is going on. Hydrolurker splits in the middle. Why is Zerg's no longer doing Spore Forests? I think you are if the game goes late enough. I think the problem right now is where do you put the Spore Forest? Like, the entire map is kind of like... I think as well as that right now, Rogue is not waiting for ZOUN to attack into him. And also, Spore Forests are much more effective against carriers than they are Tempest, because Tempest will just sit and fire from far away. Whereas if there's carriers, the Interceptors actually do need to come in toward the Spore Crawlers. So there's a little bit of a... It's just a little bit of a decision, I think, based on composition, maybe current kind of position on the map. So I'm trying to take this very small base here. So again, the fact that these later game, bases have less minerals on them is a factor. It means less access to resources later in the game. It's generally going to be pretty decisive. We are going to see a lot of probes going down here. This Nexus will fall at the same time. Rogue looking for the cancel in this base. He will get it. He actually backed away, and ZOUN cancels it as he's running backwards. So these lurkers are causing issues for ZOUN right now over on the left-hand side. The Tempest trying to get some work done. And at the same time, these Ultras try to step through for their couple of opportunities as well. Carriers also kill Spore Forest easily. Yes, but the carriers actually have to commit in toward the Spore Forest, whereas Tempest can kill them from far away. And the whole point is that then the Spores are the ones taking damage while your army... Either the Spores sit there and ping through everything while you fight the army of the Zerg, or you're hitting Spores and the army of the Zerg is hitting you while you're hitting Spores. Either way, it's more things that you have to target down, right? But that doesn't really matter with Tempest, because the Tempest will just never run close enough for the Spores to attack. So... yeah, with carriers, there's always going to be a trading factor for it, so... it draws out fights in a big way, because it puts more HP on the map that the Protoss has to eventually get rid of. Yeah, it's just not the thing. It's not the same thing with the... I mean, the one thing a Spore Crawler Forest could do right now is it could slow down the advance of the Protoss army, but Rogue's not really in a position where he needs to slow this army down, not at the cost of thousands of minerals. Like, he knows where this army is at every point. He's mostly kind of pre-positioned anyway, so... Group team is going down. We are going to see the Lurkers burrowing up again. Back's coming in. Storm coming in again. Those storms as these units try and get forward. We have dropped a couple of microbial shrouds down there. Is that helping? I don't really know. If I'm going to be honest. I don't know if these Ultras are lasting longer than I expected them to or not. Well, the Immortals are still going to chunk away at them. I mean, I don't know if the Ultras were, like, obviously in the microbial shroud the whole time either. It's also kind of a question worth raising, because there's not really a guaranteed answer to that, as this Protoss army is apparently just looking so far a little bit too good. We're going to go for another round of Ultras here. I mean, to be fair, Rogue still has money to play with. Resources lost is a little bit worse for him, but he's been mining significantly more. He's going to get damage done here while we recall. And that is going to be a defense even holding this base in the tail end of it as well. So, good job there. A little bit of DT Zeld harass. Rogue is on top of it already, though. Actually notices that this hatch is oversaturated, and will fix that straight away. And pull that down to the bottom right-hand side. Like I said, resources are going to become scarce here, and I think that's where the Zerg is not going to love this map. The problem with reducing resources on the map is races that kind of need to mine more resources are the ones that get punished by that. Because we're going to see the dive on this. No recall available. The High Templar are just dying, so no storms. We don't really have many Corruptors left to really fight the Tempest, though. We really just need more Corruptors at the end of this. I mean, the Infestors have some energy left, but I don't even know what we hit for, the best kind of result at this point. We're going to get rid of the mothership. The Tempests are all that remain. The army of ZOUN on the ground gets blottoed. And now the Ultras are going to go on a field trip because, well, there's nothing to stop these Ultras from doing whatever they want. There's a ton of probes oversaturated on this base as well, so a lot of ZOUN's potential residual economy is going to go down here as well. Those probes are going to go running. Top left, it's a massive Zealot attack. They will find a base of Rogue, but he's got elsewhere to be. Admittedly, these drones are going to have to unburrow and go elsewhere too. I love this. He actually neural up a bunch of the Tempests apparently while watching all that other chaos going on, and that's why the Tempests go down. I'll go and take a rewind on that in a second when this game wraps up. As you can see, these Ultras are just looking absolutely phenomenal. 24 minutes on Magnetic North, and what a great opening game for this map. As you're going to see those Ultras again chomping away and just having their way of things. Love it. Absolutely love it. The Ultras are going to deliver in the end, and Oh, what a great game from Rogue. He obviously had a good idea of where he wanted to be. It was close. I mean, you can see his resources left in the bank right now are minimal, so it's really just this one standing army he has left. You know, ZOUN's done a great job of knocking down bases in the last few moments as well. Also a big factor. Just want to show you guys those tempers going down, because there's a lot going on. Obviously, I did miss the tempers actually dying a little bit, so just fast forward a little bit. Man, this fight, I mean, ZOUN just pushed forward and got instantly jumped on. But yeah, these tempers, they're lurking. And then I think Rogue realizes, what if I just neural them all? He also had a couple corruptors that were just still doing fine against the tempers, apparently, because the tempers were hitting ultras, so just a little bit all over the place. Just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what happened there, because we were obviously busy. I swear, as you wait for ZOUN's in the replay for a second, it's just going to take a couple of moments, and we'll get that one underway, guys. As we'll get ready for game number 2 of this BO3 qualifying matchup. After this, we'll go Classic versus Riong. They are waiting for us, so that will be a live match. So it'll be ZOUN Riong game 2, maybe even game 3, then Classic Riong live, and then we'll have Mana versus ByuN and Nikaract versus Chance or Ordinary as a couple of series from replays they're just already playing. That means that we get to cast all of our best of 3s here. Or all of our qualifying matches. That is the aim. We want to obviously get a few hours on this stream at the very least. That's what we are going for. White Rabbit going to be the map pick for map 2. Map we've not seen yet. This one was a little bit bugged earlier. Apparently it's fixed now. I just want to clarify. So what happened with the double selection of minerals, guys? So basically there's a doodad on the ground. It's apparently it's slightly above the ground to stop it like not working properly or looking weird. So what happens is that the minerals are basically shown on top of the doodad and on the ground. So it's just looking like a double rank. So it basically has no effect on gameplay. So yeah, no actual gameplay impacts, but obviously still looks a bit weird when you're selecting things and stuff. But not the end of the world as we go into game number 2 of this BO3. White Rabbit going to be this map, as we have in the bottom left side ZOUN, and in the top right side Rogue. Game number 2 of our best of 3. We also see the mothership popping in, the new change. I didn't, yeah, I forgot that one. Yeah, they added a new animation for the mothership, huh? I'll try and be more aware of that. I completely forgot about it. I'm not used to watching motherships, watching for motherships spawning, you know. Again, big thanks to Monster Energy who are sponsoring this Team Liquid map contest and the tournament that comes along with it. We'll have their logos up properly next week for the main event, obviously. Just run through this qualifier today. White Rabbit looks like a very standard map from first glance. Let's have a look. Main base looking pretty regular. A jump up potential, nothing too crazy. Natural, which has got flat ground into it, but obviously ramps to then get there, so there's a little bit of defensive potential, but actual natural itself. Also very choked up natural. It's a very small and cramped natural expansion, so that's maybe worth thinking on too. Third base you can choose here, or maybe even over here. This one feels kind of away from where you want to be. Maybe as a 4-base setup, that's nice, but I actually think 3 into 4 bases here might be nice. This set of rocks going down would make this base super exposed, so you would really have to control this area in full. And then middle of the map has some line of sight blockers, a little bit of a wiggle to get there, and that is how it works. So I love the map, by the way. This map looks sick. I love the... I don't think I've seen this kind of like lasery kind of glowing effect before. That's very cool. Yeah, it's definitely a very unique looking map. Although it's called White Rabbit and it doesn't look like a white rabbit at all, but I'm sure there's a good reason for it. The main and the natural look small. Yeah, I think the main's big, realistically. The natural is quite cramped, maybe. But the main is very sizable. Like, you can fit everything you need in this main base. Link speed, a couple links coming up, hatchery on the way. Another gateway going down. It's got Matrix vibes. It's a Matrix reference, right? Yeah, I'm not a film guy. I've not watched a lot of things I probably should have watched. Oh, exposed. Exposed. The Matrix, right? The Matrix reference is a Alice in Wonderland reference. Oh my god. References upon references, crazy. Alright, it's gonna be Glaives here from ZOUN, so he's just gonna go game 2 and glaive it up apparently. Is this Shakura's Plateau V2? What? What part of this looks like Shakura's Plateau? Not seeing that comparison. I've not seen the Matrix. No, I have not. I'm not a movie. I honestly, I did not see a lot of movies. A lot of the OG movies that everyone's seen, the classics, I've only seen in recent years because Helen made me start watching some of them. But like, I was never into like watching movies as a kid or anything. First, I'm going to start flying toward the upper right-hand side, so obviously there's a glaive attack getting ready, but the defense is preparing as well. Roach is already on the way up. Extra adepts coming through. Prism still sitting overhead, looking nice. And again, the Ling Roach continuing out for the moment as well, so we're bringing this straight over. Adepts getting through the Prism there. And we get ourselves ready to go, go, go. Just to try and shade, see what's going on. That's actually going to get caught, so the Lings are going to get just a jump on this. They're going to cancel the shade, and well, that was a disaster. The Prism got pushed back as well. I mean, this just leads to an immediate counterattack. It's like, Rogue is going to drone a bit behind this, but like he can absolutely apply some pressure. He's got a couple of Ravagers and Roaches to poke at the front with as well, so this is looking kind of like a very nice defense for Rogue, as you see the Observer there in a little bit of trouble as well. Can I go down? Wow, nightmare for ZOUN. Flare is halfway done currently. It's going to be seeing the flare still just morphing through for the moment. Get those gates on the way out. The Immortal being added on too. I mean, just recovery time for ZOUN, but this really did nothing. Resources lost 1500 to 850. The Ling's going down right now as the Prism has gotten active again. First speed, missiles coming up, extra roaches coming along. This one, Rogue just taking the chance to kind of set up and tech up a little bit here. Ravager coming to build, just going to be seeing the extra Adept Warp and enemy. We're basically committing here as ZOUN onto this Adept Immortal Sentry push, and that's why Rogue is just getting a lot of units. Roach speed and +1 missiles coming in. Ravager trying to dive through, just going to be seeing the Force field's coming down. Ravager going to try and fight. A couple of corrosive files available to try and drop further in here. Not a good fight for Rogue though. This power from ZOUN is looking good, and Rogue, he was fighting this without his +1 missiles as well, so he was not quite full strength yet. The only thing I will say now is that we're kind of out of force fields, right? So these sentries are going to reach their kind of minimum power. So they're not going to be as useful as they were. So that's a lot of dead supply in the army currently. If you can fall back and regen their energy, then great. But you can see the sentries are starting to go down, and that's where Rogue is going to see more success. I mean, this army in general is going to start struggling without the force fields. The force fields made it great. Now Rogue, I actually think, despite being on worse supply, is actually maybe in the better position to deal with this than he was before. The Adepts may commit to the Shade as well, which is maybe going to give you some worker damage. Do we have enough here as Rogue? Corrosive Vials are kind of huge. Any shot right now, any chunk of damage like that is going to add up a lot. We do see Roaches and some Lings going after the Adepts, and I think we will clean those up eventually. Just got to try and maintain drones. At the same time, Roach Ravager trying to deal with this. Is he going to try for the Prism? He is, but ZOUN is going to pay attention. He's not going to lose the 2 Immortals there. Ravager coming about. Blink on the way up. Just gonna see the Immortal coming through. Battery and Probe still building along. Get that Immortal on the way as the Roach Ravager heads down towards the bottom left-hand side. A big shove from Rogue. We'll see what happens. So we'll be seeing the Adept Sentry Stalker pull onto the right side. Force fields coming down. A couple of the Adepts on the left gonna get grabbed. Gonna start breaking into this natural expansion here. A couple more Force fields coming straight into place. 2 more Corrosive Vials go down. In the end, I think if these 2 Immortals can survive, then ZOUN has a defense, and maybe that's good enough. The left side Immortal coming through as well. A couple of Vials popping its barrier already. Sound supply is dropping. It's the Adepts. They're not very effective against this Roach Ravager. It's also Stalkers that don't have Blink. It's a lot of low-tier units, and while the numbers were okay, they were not quite as powerful as they might typically be. Now, Blink finishing soon is maybe an issue. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cybercore actually go down to stop us getting Stalkers up here, because Blink Stalkers will provide efficiency that you're maybe not capable of dealing with here as Rogue. He needs to get rid of these Immortals. He gets rid of 1. Oh, the barrier comes back on that Immortal that was super low. That's kind of a big deal. A few more Biles. He's going to get rid of the Cybercore. No, he really should finish that. Okay, he had the Biles for it. He actually warps in 2 more Adepts. Is it only Zealots now? Yes. New Cybercore just starts to build. Zealots warp into the right-hand side. We start a Bile at the front. There's a gateway that's an easy pick-off right here as well. Obviously, anything you can do to reduce production helps. More Corrosive Vials. The Immortal stepping away. Ling's trying to come back over. Ravager's going to fight also. Just going to see the Zealots continue to come up. And this is looking like ZOUN holds. These Immortals just still being alive is huge. We might not have a lot of Stalkers, but the few that are there with the Blink definitely helps. 8 new Roaches from Rogue coming up as he is going to be forced back. Queen's going to be there. Prism gets pushed away. Roach Ravager still joining back up together. Immortal on the attack upgrade coming through. We had a gateway on from ZOUN as well. So all of that coming up currently. That Robo Bay being added as we speak. So we can really get that into play. Another Assembly R2 coming down already. I mean, Rogue is basically saying, I'm just going to go again. He's about a 20 army supply lead. I mean, what he has done is ZOUN got delayed a lot here. So ZOUN didn't build Immortals consistently through this. So it's not like ZOUN has a crazy good Immortal count. It's still just the 2 and they are hurt. A third one about to pop. I'd say there's still a chance here for Rogue. He takes a moment to knock these rocks. You're going to see the Stalkers blinking. It is a brave consideration. A few more shots. Stalkers taking damage. A couple of Zealots that are there do not have charge. That's a long way off as well. This does feel more do or die than before for Rogue. Corrosive Vials hitting the Immortal. That Immortal does lift back up. It's super low. We've got to be careful with what we start targeting here and how we micro it as ZOUN. Corrosive Vials going down. We're hitting the Immortal on the left side. The battery doing some good work there. And I think it's all, again, just taking a bit too long for Rogue to break through. And with Stalkers having Blink, efficiency can come through. For the next few moments. Ravager's back away. Stalker's going to blink after. It's going to be seeing the Roaches producing as well. +1 attack. Charge on the way. We get them early upgrade started also. For now, Ravager back around on the left side. Standard Thermal Lance building, Sentry Colossus on the way. Charge still very much so coming through on the Twilight Council, giving ZOUN more tech and more ways in which to play this game out. Definitely starting to look like a good resolution for him in this game number 2 to potentially push us through to a game 3. At this point, Rogue, he actually did end up starting a melee upgrade, so he did start to improve this situation for himself compared to what it was originally. So it goes for a little bit of improvement there. Charging the Thermal Lance, all coming through and online. The Ravager's building, drones and melee upgrade building as well. Scorpius is going to go in after a couple of those Crypt Jammers again and, well, get some map control back. Is Rogue in any sort of a playable position? I don't think so. 45 to 51 workers, and he had a caster game yesterday from Rogue where he sat on 20 workers less than he should have done for 5 minutes before droning up, and he won that game. Oh, well, he maybe should have won that game. He didn't in the end. It's kind of funny. Obviously no fourth hatchery. The tech coming online I love from ZOUN. Seeing the Colossus and the Thermal Lance I think does a lot for us right now to get into an even better position here. Colossus with some good damage. A few Lings going down. And do you see the Baneling Nest coming about? Hatchery, Ling, Roach, melee upgrade all coming through. It's ZOUN back over to the upper right side of the map here currently. Have I zoomed in on something? Never zoomed out? Nope, this is normal StarCraft zoom. This is zoomed out. This is zoomed out a little bit. This is normal StarCraft vision. Rogue tries to come in from two sides, but, well, I mean, he has to do well here because he just lost his 4th base, so there's no way he survives this with only 3 bases. He got rid of the Colossus. He's going to force a recall. Biles into the recall are going to be huge. He gets the Colossus during that. Oh my goodness, he killed so much. Yo, ZOUN's tech right now is an immortal. He doesn't even have anything in production. He has 1 Colossus that spawned out to the left side. I mean, that is his saving grace. Is Rogue still maybe going to do this? Yeah, I mean, he's going to try. He's not really got much choice. He doesn't really have a longer-term game plan. That Colossus is so big. The splash damage it can provide is really going to keep Rogue from just straight up committing in without thinking twice about it here. A few more Biles. Stalkers have to step back and away. See the rest of the Ravagers still coming through. A couple more corrosive Biles dropping in as well. Army's not going full force. I mean, this is going to give ZOUN the chance to get a new Colossus out, but maybe it gives Rogue the chance to get a 4th base back online. The Infestation Pit is coming online as well. This is a very interesting position. Like, you attack up here. One interesting base to attack into, because by attacking up here, the Zerg, if you're defending here naturally, holding here is hard. But if you attack from here, you easily wrap around and surround as well. It's actually a very interesting little bit of the map layout in terms of how that base works defensively. The Rogue just getting nothing done on the counterattack, though, really tells you the issue that he has here, which is that he's not really able to truly fight this army. But that's what the Hive is for. I mean, like I say, he's going to stay alive in the game, and that's going to give him chances and opportunities that he didn't have moments before, at least. So it's a factor now as well, as the +2 attack comes up. Missiles halfway. Hive is starting. The Prism into the middle of the map from ZOUN as well, trying to get set up as it moves into a little bit of a patrolling area in the center. Hive's about halfway, so Rogue is... I can only imagine he's going to try and get some Vipers out. This is still going to be a Roach Ravager army. He doesn't have the time to build he doesn't really have the time to build a ton of spellcasters, maybe just Vipers. He doesn't have the time to tech into something different, I think, realistically. He doesn't have the resources to either, right? With a dead 4th base and the limited drone count he's been working with this entire time as well, so I don't think he can really do much there. Couple more Biles coming about. The Stalkers in the center, Sentries and the Colossus moving up. +2 missiles coming about. Viper on the way. It's going to be seeing the Roaches building. The army going to set up in the center. A couple of Biles coming down. Biles heading toward the Observer there, but that does turn back away too. As the +2 attack upgrade is also coming up. Vipers, like I say, are going to be so important. What's interesting is that these Vipers do not have the usual issue that Vipers have, which is Templar, right? Like, ZOUN is not teched up to the point of having Templar. Love that he takes this forward 4th base as well, though. It's going to give him a lot of pushing potential, and it gives him an economy to settle back onto. I mean, can we fight this if we just get rid of the Colossus? I want to say, I think we have a good go at it, right? There's definitely an opportunity there. If the Colossus are gone, there's definitely going to be something of a chance. Rogue trying to hold this forward 4th base as well. He's going to consume that for his energy, which does take some of the HP off it, makes the hatchery more vulnerable, but hey, that's the thing we just can't really stop to worry about at this point in time, let's be real. More piles. There's the first Colossus getting abducted in. Like I say, the Vipers do not have the usual issue of high Templar, so they will get abducted off, even if the Stalkers did a good job of getting in and killing them after. 1 Viper remains. Still 2 real Colossus left, so we really need to get some more abduct energy available. That's why getting rid of the Viper was nice, even if we did already lose the Colossus. Stalkers blink through. Real Colossus on that left-hand side. Rogue is just going to back it up and give away the 4th base for the moment. He has actually got this right side operational. Sorry, I say calling it 4th base. It's kind of more like a 5th. It's just 2 Colossus are still scary. Maybe if we can abduct one of those Colossus, then I mean, then it is just Stalkers. Surely just playing Stalkers are also pretty good against just Ravagers. I mean, that's why Adrenal Glands might be really nice. But there's no point making Lings yet. There's no point making Lings until you've gotten rid of the Colossus, really. What a fascinating little map situation as a couple of corrosive piles come down. Pull back over to the right-hand side. Ravager's going to reposition again. We step forward. Stalker's going to blink in. Ooh, we abduct the wrong Colossus. That second Colossus we abduct is real. That's going to be a whole lot better. He sees it as well, the Overseers. He didn't waste time killing the fake one, but man, I mean, the Ravagers just can't get enough done. It's 1 Colossus. I mean, ZOUN is a 4-base Protoss as well, so as this base goes down and Rogue is a 25-drone Zerg, he is left with this army to win the game with. It's just not, even if you get rid of the Colossus, like at this point, realistically, the Stalkers are good enough to keep you from doing what you need. Stalkers blink up, Ravagers and Roaches immediately in trouble, as you can see. Biles dropping down, a few more Ravagers hitting through. That Colossus in trouble once again. Prism very nearly taking some shots, just about able to get away. Why are the probes here? I actually have no clue why the probes are here. Oh, this game's been kind of wild. ZOUN is going to come through with the fight, though. That will finally see us to a victory screen. And it will be the beautiful Protoss colors, giving us a Game 3 of this series, guaranteed. And, yeah, first one goes down. The Ravagers are full. And the drones are here to fight as well. GG. We go to Game 3. Alright, Game 3 coming up. I have to run some ads before that, guys, but yeah, we got this ready to go. Binode worker kill count. The players are just hosting. They've been hosting without it, so yeah, just apologies on that. Alright, just waiting for Game 3 of this to get hosted up, and away we will go. Mothership, oh my god. Rogue picks the 3-player map. I love it. Alright, Game 3 coming up then, guys. We'll get this ready to go. Mothership is a map that looks like a mothership. Alright, whenever the players are ready, we are set, and we're ready to go into Mothership here for Game 3 of this series. What a fun game. That was kind of, I mean, Rogue had a great defense early. He then slipped up, and then it got a little bit interesting again. I think a little bit of it to do with the map and not kind of knowing where we could get surrounded from, but made for some fun watching. Great series, actually. Just the full best of 3 has been absolutely top-notch StarCraft so far. As we get ready to kick off into Mothership. Alright, we're going to have a 3-player map. I've been told this 3-player map is good. Well, we shall see. We shall see. In the 6 o'clock. Spawning in the bottom tip of the mothership. Our red Zerg player here is going to be Rogue. On the 10 o'clock is going to be our Blue Pros player ZOUN. So, air blockers around the edges to stop some of these areas being super exposed. Is one of the issues with kind of round maps. Is obviously this dead airspace is a ridiculous amount, so you need to do something about it. Very pretty, by the way. It does genuinely look like a mothership as well from above. So yeah, you got your main base, reaches out over here. You probably take this as your third every time. It's big enough, arguably, to... I mean, maybe you don't take your third. It's actually... I'm trying to look at the layout. I'm like, is the layout beneficial? Like, what does Rogue... I'm trying to speak properly. What does Rogue get from spawning here? Move out on the map. You push up over this way. You probably have to move up here and you get there. Yeah, okay, so this is what's interesting. What usually happens on a 3-player map is that certain positions are good because you either reach the third first, or you reach the, or you drive past the main base. I wonder if you take this base, because this base is so far in front of the main, that it's not as much of a problem as usual. Huh. From first glance, I almost want to say it doesn't look as... I want to say it's not as okay, first glance I like it as a 3-player map, but let's see. I think we need to see some games is the reality. Thanks for coming up, couple of queens on the way. We had some drones. Stargate builder from ZOUN. Let's just see our warp gate building up as well. Stargate coming through, Nexus coming online. And get settled in here. Sure, pros will tell us if one base has less mining. I mean, less mining is very easily fixed. You just need to make sure you do the problem is you can't copy paste the minerals, but as long as you do the same mineral layout, then it shouldn't really matter. And I'm pretty sure this is the same mineral layout on those 2 bases and this one. Like, there's not more far array bases on any of them than there are close bases, so... Stargate about to finish up as ZOUN opens fairly regularly. And we do have the Adept going to step in toward the main base. A couple of Lings are there to chase that down, push that away. I wonder what Rogue's intentions are picking this map. It is loser's pick, so from the other maps that are available, he picks this one as his loser's pick choice. I mean, I don't know if he just likes the fact it's 3-player. I don't know if he just likes something about it. That's what, we're here to see. This looks okay. The last one was weird. Well, in terms of zoom? I'll keep an eye on it as we go through. Might just be the layout or something, the way the bases get pushed up towards your vision or so. Oracle's going to shoot a couple creep teamers going down. We're going to be there. Oracle getting turned away. Let's see, those few devs going to try and shade through. Just going to have a couple of oracles up in the sky. Melee upgrade coming about. Overlord's on the way through. Queen in production. Get the Forge starting, and the Stalker going to ping away at the Overlord for a couple of moments. A couple of those assimilators still coming up and online. Your made-up law is that this is StarCraft 3? My made-up law is this is what's happening on a mothership anytime a mothership spawns into the game. So when a mothership spawns into the game, there's actually a StarCraft 2 battle going on top of the mothership already. And that determines whether the mothership is good or not. You remember those motherships that always got abducted when you spammed -400, -400? That's because Protoss were losing the on-mothership battle. But then, they buffed Protoss to be basically unlosable, and ever since, motherships have not been -400, -400. They've been really good. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, when that mothership just gets abducted and flies into the Zerg, it's simply just because the Protoss lost the battle on the mothership, and the Zergs took over and flew it forward, They took control. That should be the law. We're also playing 2 games at the same time. Well, everyone was. But it's different Protoss, though. Different Protoss. Or we do some kind of time manipulation movement thing. Storm building up. Blink is about to finish. +1 attack coming through. You get this settled down. That storm is still very much so just on the way in. Nothing too crazy just yet. Looks going to come through. Just going to see a couple of drones going to get zapped. 3 of them going down. The storm coming about. The charging +1 still coming up. Adept and Stalker gathering up and pushing towards the top as we just take a 4th base already. Rogue obviously already 4 base going to 5. But again, a big macro game as, yep, Rogue, that is some dead airspace. That Overseer can't fly away over there. Could we have maybe given it a little bit of dead airspace? Maybe the air blocker should have been on like an angle like this, like when my cursor like that, so there's a little bit of dead airspace there. Not having any dead airspace behind the main base always feels a little bit funky, but there's nothing wrong with making maps different either. Storms coming down. Yo, look at the storms. Look at the storms. They're killing all of ZOUN's units. Panic storms are so much worse now. Because panic storms where you drop a storm or 2 just to clean up like cheap units like Lings, obviously they kill the Lings still. But now there's so much more overkill than before. And when before the overkill was like, whatever, I can eat a little bit of that on my own units. Now it actually chugs your units down. So, yeah, that's something that the Protoss players, I think, are going to have to really adapt to. I actually think it's going to be a thing where for a while we're going to see Samoans where Protoss players naturally step into their storms. They're going to, stick around in storms that they were expecting to be able to move out of as well. I think it's going to be a very big thing. Charging +2 coming up. We do have the Dropper Lords making their way over that left-hand side, so Rogue looking to get adventurous. They whack their head on the air blocker, but will still make their way through, as Rogue will also position to attack from the top. One single Ling gets caught in the stasis here. And there go the rest of the Lings dropping straight in. Cannon, well, immediately in trouble. The Probe's in trouble as well. Just pulls a lot of units out of the way and then maybe gives you the option to kind of run in elsewhere, but we're just going to take the chance to knock down rocks elsewhere. We run the Lings around everywhere. We do have burrows, so we're just going to make that an annoyance as well. Keep these Lings for later. They'll show up at a later point and once again try and cause trouble, I'm sure. And Rogue is just taking the map. It's kind of a big map as well, when you stop to think about it. This map kind of also becomes, that's not what I want to actually say. I'll not say it. Instead of just trying to explain myself and probably being wrong, I'm just not going to say it. I'm going to be sensible. Ultras on the way, though, because Ultralisks obviously do power up this army, no doubt, and Ultras were a big part of the reason Rogue was able to pull off that win in Game 1 as well. Why is Rogue not using the new Microbull Shroud? I mean, he did in Game 1. I mean, he's just not set up for it yet in this game, realistically. And I think it's also just a case of what you're playing against right now. He's playing against a lot of melee spellcasters. The only range units here so far are Archons. It might just be later in the game he does get the chance to actually get Infestors, then he will get Microbial Shrouds, so... That said, I don't know how much the Microbial Shroud really did for the Ultras and stuff in that first game as well, so... Hard to say. So let's just gonna go in after the spine. The Ultra moving about, so that's gonna come through. A couple crew teamers going down. Ultras gather. We have obviously those going to be very scary if they can get forward and start to put some damage out, so definitely expecting that to maybe be a bit of a factor here coming up. And has a Microbial Shroud, so he is going to get it. He's going for it a bit further down the line. Ultras come through. The Lings are going to come dropping back in again. So just going to drop in with those. Ultras trying to get forward, jump on top of these Zealots. You see a couple of the Zealots already going down. The Oracle still overhead. Archon's gathering. +1 air weapons, +3 attack as well. We do see the Banes crashing through for a couple of these probes. Get rid of some of those workers as the Oracles are going to step about. Archon going to take some shots. Stalker Immortal still coming through here. And that Immortal still getting chunked down by the Ultra. Ultra's doing pretty well initially. We have a few Lings that just ran by into the main base as well, so seeing those get straight through, they jump onto this robotics facility. And extra Ultras, Spire, all on the way through at the Zerglings on as well, at that mothership. Just a lot of this still coming into play right now. Rogue has the money as well to deal with this, like the 100 drones, almost 98 workers he's sitting at. So he has the economy to really just rampage and just go again and again and again, and really try to, you know, attempt to make things happen, basically. Well, the Lings going down onto the natural, see a couple more of the Lings getting burrowed up. Is there a link to vote on the maps in the map contest? I believe, I'll have to double check this. Voting either opens when the tournament starts next week, or it starts when the tournament ends. I'll have to check on that next week. It's probably not open just yet, though. Usually it's more based around the tournament, but this is just like an extra little qualifier that we're doing. So, yeah, I imagine that's kind of the little bit of the idea there. Ultras, I'm going to step forward, Rocks will go down. Real Parasite coming online, the air weapon upgrade coming through as well. Archons and Immortals will be there to push everything away. I mean, ZOUN's army's getting better, but he is getting kind of hard stopped on 4 bases. And eventually that means he's going to have eco issues. See, resources lost right now for Rogue is about a 5,000 difference, so playing about 5k resources lost behind is fine when he's got the base control that he does. It's just a matter of keeping that and stepping forward here. There's an Archon that's going to get grabbed easily. Everything else is a bit more collected. Don't have any Infestors yet to really try and Microbial Shroud it up. Got that upgrade, but have yet to put it to use. Got Neural Parasite as well, so he's prepped to kind of make that happen later. ZOUN's kind of playing more ground army this time, which I think is good against the Ultras. Last time, he played quite heavy in the air, and while he won in the air, he lost heavily on the ground. So this time he's putting more focus onto the ground to begin with. Which does make a good bit of sense. Lings run through Robo facilities. In trouble over here. One Robo already going down. The Spine Crawls are going to go poking on the Zealots as well. Niduses pop up. It's in the main base. And those Ultras are actually going to get a good fight because of the Niduses. I mean, we could storm toward the Ultras. It lasts long enough. It might be worth it. Wow, he just takes the fight on those few units and then he gets back in the Niduses. I mean, to be fair, it might be worth it because he might be able to reposition elsewhere by the time something else happens here. Having to re-expand up over there. Some denials have happened. The Ultra just going to be getting there. A couple of Zealots going down. And I'll just gather up. A couple Archons come through. Just going to be seeing the army coming over. A couple Storms dropping. Rogue's going to commit to this fight. I mean, there's a lot of firepower through here. Going through the Time Warp means that the Banelings get caught in the Storm for longer. The Time Warp was huge. The Time Warp plus Storm combo, especially now Storm lasts longer, was actually amazing. A couple Zealots just stepped through, get onto that hatch. Getting Ultra all on the way. The army still stepping by. A couple of Zealots causing trouble elsewhere. ZOUN with some momentum. Rogue really needs these new Ultras to pop and to give him some opportunity now. Zealots come over. The Queen falls. So Zergling's going to get jumped on as well. The rest of the Lings up top. Going to go wrap around on a few more of those Zealots. Zealots is going to be taken out. Still got more Ling Bane Ultra on the way through here. The army collecting together. Immortals on the ground. The Changelings popping around a little bit as well. We have a lot of Ling Bane Ultra just continuing through. Another Nidus on the top. That's a funny position for the Nidus. The Nidus on like the see-through platform. That's so weird. You can see the Nidus under the ground. Oh my god, that's so cool. I've never seen that, I don't think. What a weird little bit of terrain. That's so sick. Very cool. Alright, well, I never knew that was a thing, as you have the +1 flare air weapons on the way up, +1 flyer attack that is for Rogue. Starts to respect this air army a little bit better now, as we do have ourselves the additional threat that's going through as well. Still difficult for Rogue to attack into this main ZOUN army here. And a couple of drop loads going to be settling. You see the +1 flyer attack upgrade coming online as well currently. You just see the Overlord being pushed back. Things get chased away also as the cannon gets a few more shots off. Things run by up to the top side. Will chase straight in. A couple of those probes going to get jumped on Zealots as well. The Zealots going to go onto the Spine Crawler over here. Going to be able to make that a grab as well as the rest of the Lings still getting caught. Archon's able to turn, fight, and play cleanup. Archon's going to be there. The Lings get turned around. Now a few Changelings will step forward also. Zerglings coming up into production. +1 flyer attack very much so on the way in. He's got a good wraparound taking out the Archons. Now the rest of the army still stepping through into the center. Zealots will once more take a chance at this hatchery. Why not Infestor or Broodlords? I think Broodlords are a little bit too slow. Honestly, I don't know why we don't add on Infestors. I think Infestors are not a bad addition. He already has the kind of the Neuroparasites that could maybe help in these armies as well. Glungles are amazing against the clumpy, slow-moving Archons as well. Archons get through, making a pop or two. Best of Lings still coming across the map. Looking to try and wrap around some of those Zealots. Not quite going to get the opportunity there. And Rogue's army is that it doesn't fight well against all of those Archons and Mauls. At this point, you probably do make Broods, and you can see the Great Spire starting. I think Broods, you need something else. Like, your army alone is not going to win you this game, as it stands. And down the left-hand side. Group team is going down. Hatchery right there as well. We'll just active. Hatch taking a bit more damage. Trying to get 50% of the damage though. It does, but I think the problem is that this army... The thing is, Rogue's army melts fast anyway. I don't think it's going to matter much even if he throws Shrouds down. It's like, he's not going to take a fight where he wants to throw Shrouds down. So I don't actually... Because if you're throwing Shrouds down, you're committing into the fight. And there's no world he wants to commit into this fight right now. Like, even with Shroud, I don't think it's going to matter too much. So, I much prefer the fact he's going Broods, because it does not feel like there's a good answer to Broods right now, right? It's just Masters of Archons and hoping that they can get underneath. But I would then like to see Infestors for Fungals to protect the Broodlords a little bit more as well. I think that could really be absolutely kind of the golden ticket right here. Archons are coming up to the top. A few Links coming around the bottom. Zealots coming in as well. The Ultra's moving over. Again, extra Broods come up. Lings in the hatchery coming online. Revelation, just gonna keep track of some of those Ultras. Like I say, that Brood count is growing. Got 6 Brood Lords going to 11. Rogue is, I mean, Rogue has kept ZOUN to full bases, right? ZOUN is not rich. Anything that dies here for ZOUN is very difficult to replace. These Banes crashing through, honestly, will not be a bad thing. The Ultras get on top. The Broodlings are getting involved. There are the High Templar looking for storms on the Broodlords. All the High Templar will go down. The Broods even have time to get out of the storm, and that's going to be the crushing fight. In the end, Rogue just takes it. No rebuild potential. ZOUN feels like he has to go in. We're gonna get it done as Rogue takes one hell of a battle. Chess SCT, thank you so much for the 69-month resub. Rogue takes the 2-1 qualifying matchup. We will head into Classic. And Riong up next. We're gonna get straight into that, guys, because Classic's been waiting over an hour to play because, yeah, it's, that was a long series in the end, so a little unlucky that the first one we casted ended up being so long. Alright, we're going to kick into Classic vs. Riong, guys. Keep it going. Thank you so much. First of all, it was Chess ST on the 69-month resub, and then we get Fly Icon on the 30-month resub on the Prime, and we have SE the Tank. Thank you so much for the 17-month resub. Appreciate all the support, guys. Appreciate all the love. Thank you so very much. Alright, game number 3. As we have, it's okay, they can just play. I'm not gonna, stop them. In the top right, Classic. In the bottom left, it is Riong. As we get into game number 1 of this next series. This is Magnetic North, so we're back on this map again. This is just the starting map for round of 8 matches, so it is going to be one we see a few times over the next couple series still. That's a great series between Rogue and ZOUN, actually. Like, really, really fun, really good. That was genuinely very awesome to see. Rogue was just all over on that map as well. I think ZOUN really struggled to just get one consolidated push together until it was truly way too late. Rogue getting the win, qualifying through. Don't get me wrong, guys. A lot of the guys that play in these qualifying matches will get invites as well. The qualifier obviously gives us an extra day of games, gives us some more content. It gives people a chance to qualify if they wouldn't typically get invites anyway. You know, there's very low chance we don't invite ZOUN. He's a great player. But also, you know, because of that kind of concept, if you qualify, you are given $25 for qualifying as well. So there's a little bit of money on this as well. Classic top right, Riong bottom left. Let me get ready to roll. Stalking the Wolfgate coming through. We got the Twilight Council on the roll. Let's take a couple of moments to settle into game number 1 of our BO3. See where we're gonna go. $25 free lunch. Hey, it ain't free. You know, they gotta earn it. They gotta play some StarCraft for it, you know. I'll play some StarCraft 2 for it. Blink on the way. Let's just have our Wolfgate coming through. The Cyclone, the Reactor coming about. We add on the Orbital. Just going to drop ourselves into the barracks. Cyclone just take a little wander over towards the upper right-hand side. So, I'm just got a little bit of a journey across right now. Barracks, SCVs, Medevac, all building. Tech Lab on the way. We had a couple Marines on. A few things just looking cozy for the moment as we get settled down. Medevac loads and we'll start to take a bit of a step towards the upper side. Cyclone coming along with it, and a couple of units then to try and get some damage done here as Riong. So we'll try and get through and look for some opportunity right away. Stimpack coming up, Siege Tank and the Marines in production. The Cyclone and the Marines drop into the main as we start to get some damage dealt. Cyclone with the lock on. The Stalker's going to be there. Medevac does get chased out. Ring goes down. I love that little flag with the Monster Energy on, by the way. I haven't seen that one before, I don't think. Or maybe we have. It's just like, it looks very out of place here, but not in a bad way. I feel like maybe they've used this on more like kind of city-based maps before, and it just fits in a bit more. It just looked like a flag on a flagpole. It looked freaking cool. I thought it was neat. Anyways, thanks to Monster, of course, not just sponsoring this tournament, but also the TLMC. Again, we'll have their logos on screen properly and everything for the main tournament next week. As well, we're going to lose a Siege Tank here as Classic just walks up. Of all the maps we've seen today that have had no ramp into the natural, this one is just straight up, you know, he just walks up and he's just like, oh cool, a Siege Tank on the high ground. I'll just walk into that and get that as well. As we do get a little bit of a grab. Charge on the way, the Gateway's in production. We take a few moments to continue settling ourselves here. The Marines, the Medevac, the Siege Tank and Stim, all building through for now. The few Stalkers are going to be there. The Observer gets shot down as the Marines are able to take that out nice and comfortably. So we take that out. That's a nice catch. And obviously the rest of this army still looking to fight. Cyclone and Marines and the Siege Tank looking to make a bit of a push forward, looking to get some pressure onto the Stalkers at the moment. So coming straight through. Stalker's going to have to step back a little. It'll take a few moments. Well, SCVs are actually pulling, so Riong just says he wants to attack and just make stuff happen. That's why these Stalkers are important to be on the map, right? Able to get damage done from the very get-go here. Start chipping through these units, but they are going to get kind of positioned in a weird way. They're going to end up behind the army. SCVs pull through, tanks are going to siege. We are going to be seeing a couple of zealots are going to get caught. We are going to be having the Marines get on top of this base. Classic has some more zealots showing up. The Immortal here as well. Ooh, Riong unsieged to back away. The Stalkers coming from the other side. They get the Cyclone. Now going to try and get the tanks, but the Medevac micros available too. I don't know if this is good enough for Classic. He's running out of zealots here. The Immortal steps forward, gets the tank. Immortal's very tanky until the Marines are all focusing it and there's not much damage output going on otherwise. It's a very close defense. Few more zealots showing up. What I worry about most for Classic is I don't know if he's got enough units behind this to really do the damage necessary. As you see, Riong is just about able to power through, moving in at the moment. It's close though. Like, Riong's not got enough to be confident about sieging up the tanks and full sending. A new Immortal makes such a big difference on this as well. Seeing a new Immortal coming online is going to be absolutely massive as well. Love that. And let's see the tanks sieging, the Marines gathering up. Medevac's still going to be right there. The army's still coming over. Just a few zealots coming around the other side once more. As we do take the chance, the few zealots are going to get after the Siege Tank. Again, Marines are going to be there. Engineering Bay there. The tanks are putting the work in, man. The Immortal taking some damage. It's going to lift up. We drop down. So it's still charging forward. Doing what we can at the moment, but I think we're finally going to have the defense. It's always the issue when it's like it's so close to working, is that it's so close is usually just not good enough because of the fact that eventually the Protoss warp-ins catch up to you. Eventually they're a bit too much, and GG's Classic will get the defense in the end for game number 1. This is going to be a case of they waited like an hour to play, and they're going to play like a 15-minute best of 3, aren't they? I can already feel it. I can already feel it happen. I can feel it in the air. Ay, ay, ay. Waiting for game 2, it'll be Riong's map pick, so we'll get him to choose and we can go from there. After this, guys, we will go into Ordinary or Chance versus Nikaract qualifying match again. Nikaract beat Nightmare and Chance beat freaking Shin. So some results on that one. So we'll get those going, and then we'll go into also the... Think, what do you think? Then we'll go into the final match, which is Mana versus ByuN. Oh my god, I got that in the end. Got there in the end. Ruby Rock gonna be the map. We've seen this map before already. I like the layout of it. I like the colors of it. Let's see what it looks like. In the top left-hand side of the map, we're going to have ourselves the red turn play, picking this map as loser's pick, but that means he's down a game. This is going to be Riong. Bottom right, our blue Protoss is Classic. Game 2, BO3, Ruby Rock. Let's see the probe coming across the map early here. Classic bringing this to the upper left-hand side for a couple of moments. Again, Rack's on the way, Gateway getting started. Take a couple moments. Not really about to come online. Factory is coming about. Just going to be getting ourselves settled in for a moment or two. Next is building assembly on the way. Adapting the warp gate, all building up. Get that online. Get this settled for a couple of moments here early. So a little bit of building up, a little bit of getting underway. Again, the Reaper coming through, halfway done. The factory coming online as well. See that Reaper hopping by, and the Adept is going to be right there, going to be able to turn the Reaper back the other way for a moment or two. Nexus and the Sentry coming about. Warp Gate still very much so building online as well, getting this all going. Let's take a few moments to see where game 2 is going to get to. Yeah, sentry in the Warp Gate building. Twilight Council on the way. Had that Nexus on. Feeling reasonable for the moment. Adept is going to Shade, and the Reaper, two Reapers and the Hellion together. Move around for just a little bit of time. Trying to see what's up. Reaper's gonna hop into the base. And the two Reapers and the Hellion join up. The Blink on the way. Gateway producing. Have the Medevac and the Marines coming online as well. The Adept is going to get blown up by the Widow Mines, so Riong can deal with that quite comfortably already. As I'll see the Stalker and the Sentry together, moving about. The little grenade. Going to bop the Sentry for a few moments. Turn that about. And yeah, Blink coming along. Robot Facility and the Gateways coming along. And a lot of this up and rolling here for the moment. Gives us a chance to get settled and see what sort of strats we're going to build into. We obviously have that Blink not far from finishing. Why are we getting that probe nerf? What would you nerf about probes? I think probes should have no shields, but we also don't increase their HP. You know, I'm just so sick of probes being pulled into fights and seeing like one or two of them survive at the end. Like, we need to get rid of this, you know? Like, Protoss shouldn't have to rely on their workers for fighting. Widow Mine gonna shoot, gonna hit the probe. Couple Stalkers get there. Widow Mine's taking damage. A couple of probes down. Still got Reapers that can kind of hold a bit of map control here as well for a moment. Stalker's heading to that upper left side. Stalker's going to poke and they will get a tiny bit of damage in. Tank positioning is good for the most part here, I think, to stay safe. Temple Archives on the way from Classic. He will start up his charge as he preps for the next stages. Is Riong just going to send this on the two bases, or does he have a third in mind eventually? Marine tank settles, the Widow Mine starting, Storm, charge readying. A lot of the good stuff for Classic, very close to being here, but a lot of the good stuff for the Terran also on the way. Stim Combat +1, we see the third CC of Riong coming about as well. Coming about there again, storming the charge, getting underway. We will have our upgrades all coming about. Our command center is not far from finishing. The Stalkers get there for an SCV. Nice little grab. Getting all those upgrades about. Just see the storm coming through. I'm going to try and get a little drop in initiative. We'll see how well this goes for him as he comes around down to the bottom. So it's going to try and get around. Medevac will get jumped on, so the Medevac gets taken out. Still a couple of High Templars, and the Forge is coming in as well. Stalker's heading all the way down to that bottom right-hand side. Medevac going to sit strong. Command Center just going to drop straight into place. defense against the drop. Riong maybe more focused on this big push. He has actually some good positions to put the tanks in here. Obviously, a question of maybe can Storm help deal with those tanks? He's going to storm that first tank, but hey, that's one less Storm on the bio at least. So, gotta take what wins he can here. Storm just across the bio. Riong gonna end up sitting in it for a few moments as we do see Classic able to get some very good connections off, and yeah, Riong not quite getting the dangerous setup that I felt like he might have had available to him here. It's going to be the Stalkers pushing through, Zealots behind. I mean, Riong's army is hurt as well. The remnants of that storm damage still alive there, and that's going to suck because yeah, that means those units are a tap away from dying. And that might just give Classic confidence to just fully send this. If most of the units are going to drop off like with a breath in the wind, then yeah, not much else to really add. Another storm comes down, Bio taking big damage again. Another Widow Mine or two trying to line up. Classic pulls back and gets out of there, so we're just kind of eating a couple of those storms again. Couldn't get out of them. The storms dropping in on top. Oh, another High Templar getting put into position. The Prism coming back around the side. Bio. Yeah, the Rain Widow Mine's there. Robo Bay and the Robo Facility coming about, and we have a little bit of Bio pushing through into the center of the map. I actually don't think that's an army that Classic can fight with just yet. Gonna start warping on the other side, and Riong already, pulls SCVs, realizing he's gonna have to come and deal with this. So, it's gonna go jump up. It's a nice storm. Riong turns away from it. Not as deadly as before, because again, the DPS on it is lower, so pulling out of that should save a bit of HP compared to what it used to. CV's there, have to pull away. Again, kind of running through the storms. If he pulled them all to the upper left, that might not have been so bad. And SCV's dropping. We have the Ghost Academy building up right now here from Riong. So he's going to get himself access to those ghosts, access to some EMPs that will obviously help to negate a lot of this game. The rest of the Zealots coming around up around the top. Thermal Lance on the way. We have the Colossus. 2-tier upgrades both coming up as well. Army on the right side going to start rushing in. At this point, we just have a little bit more Viking Ghost being added. You get the Armory and the Engineering Bay brought on. A set of rocks there, going to take some damage as well. We got the 2-2 upgrades on that right side. Of your screen finishing showing that Classic is going to be pretty monstrous upgrade lead, to be honest. 2-2 to 1-1. Riong has not yet finished his Armory. He did delay the 2-2 a bit, probably intentionally. Prioritize Viking Ghost production. But it's pretty wild just how far ahead the upgrades of Classic are going to turn out to be here, I think. It's going to be a pretty huge factor as that Bio Ghost comes back around for a little bit. Riong retreats back to the top side. Storm's coming down. It's going to be seeing the Colossus trying to put it in position. I mean, good storms, good zoning. This is where Storm, I think, is very powerful right now, where you get these storms down and you just... That is like extended periods where you just cannot move back into that area necessarily. I think Storm is also very good right now against the Vikings, something that typically gets in a position to shoot the Colossus and then wants to stay there. Also, a lot of the medevacs is just an extensive kind of sit in the Storm as well, but I think this one might be a little bit too far gone. GG is called. Riong is going to take a loss, and Classic will take the 2-0 to be our second qualified player alongside Rogue. GG's. Alright guys, we're going to jump into our third qualifying matchup of this event. We're going to go into Nikaract versus Ordinaries. We're going to get that ready to go. And we'll jump into that in a couple of moments. Just give me a few moments to get that set up. And we'll get that TVP ready to rumble. Apparently, the players are not quite realizing that top 4 is qualified. Some of the guys are trying to play the next round. Alrighty, so yeah, we'll get into that next match in a moment. You guys, I just want to make sure that we're sorted on this little admin thing that's just cropped up. So give me a moment and I'll figure that out quickly and we'll... get that going. Yeah, let me just talk this through for a few moments. Just make sure everyone's on the same page. Hang on, guys. Yeah, Rogue 1-2-1, guys. Sorry, is it not on the bracket? God damn it, everyone's freaking updating their scores on the bracket. Spoilers! I told them not to update their scores, and everyone keeps reporting scores. I think, yeah. Everyone, no one's reporting the scores of the games that were streamed, and everyone's reporting the scores of the games that I'm gonna do. Ay. Alrighty, guys, sorry. We are sorted. Sorry, just like I say, sorting something out with one of the players. I just wanted to get it done before we hopped over. Go from there. Alright, so yeah, Nikaract versus Ordinary, who's also known as Chance. You might have heard him. Green Paradox play. He's playing part-time right now. And yes, guys, we are casting the other qualifying matches, yeah, where I just had to sort something out with the players quickly so they knew what was up. But yeah, we're going to cast these other 2 qualifying matches, because I didn't see them. And while they tried their best to spoil me, I covered my eyes instantly when I saw they put the result in the bracket and deleted it, so... but either way, I want to watch these qualifying games. You know, I want to get, 3-4 hours, if possible. I don't think we'll get 4 hours out of this stream, but 3.5 hours out of this stream would be nice. Yeah, make it a nice little qualifying day. So yeah, let's, with that in mind, let's get into this one. It's going to be BO3, as we have in the top right corner, the red Terran player, Nikaract. He took down Nightmare to get into this qualifying matchup. While in the bottom left, our blue Protoss player is Ordinary. So like I say, I might call him Chance. That's the other name that he goes by. Korean Protoss player playing part-time. He took down Shin to end up here as well. Exciting stuff as we jump into game number 1 then of this BO3. We're back to Magnetic North. Like I said, it's the starting map for all the round of 8s today. Yeah, let's hope for some cool games. Let's see what happens in some Terran versus Protoss between these guys. Obviously, Rogue and ZOUN really delivering a banger of a best of 3, then Classic doing what we probably expected Classic to do against Riong. Makes this a, yeah, a very comfortable situation for him. He gets through, so him and Rogue qualified so far today. Let's see if it will be Chance or Ordinary or Nikaract to join them. Dipper comes around, Cybercore and the Nexus settling up. We have the Reaper on the way, Orbital in production. The first few moments, nothing too crazy at all. Just that probe gonna check around and try and be as annoying as it possibly can be. And that Reaper finishing soon. The factory on the way up at the Orbital command in. And get a lot of that power rolling here as the Cybercore will be finishing soon as well. So again, just get all of that going. Both getting the Adept continuing by as well. Looking good so far. Again, Adept and the Warp Gate still coming up. The Nexus coming by. Squad counts are coming up in that main base. You're just going to get that started straight away. Reaper is going to come through. A couple of probes taking damage. Adept going to go in after the Reaper. Just going to try and chase through for a second or two. The Adept coming back over. And the Reaper just getting pushed out. There's going to be a couple more Reapers on the way. Add a Hellion on as well. Nikaract looked good against Nightmare. He had a good couple of pushes, and he did win, not necessarily in the quickest of games. He did win off some aggression in that game 3, but the first game he won against Nightmare was a 20-minute banger as well. We didn't see it, but heard it was a great affair to start off the day for them. So excited what he can show us here against Ordinary, who is someone we just do not get to see a lot. That's someone we do not get to see a lot at all. As the Adept settles in, the battery comes into place. Still got the Blink, still got the Warp Gate on the way through. Add on a couple of probes and a Gateway as well. We get that going. And yeah, a few Reapers and the Hellions will look to take a step forward. Going to move up this ramp and hit the front door, which is going to be seen in Adept and the Stalker, immediately providing some defense and some push away. Now the Reapers try and jump up over on the right-hand side. They're going to get turned around as well. Banshee and the Marines continue to come up at that cloaking on to the starport also. Continue to bring that through. And online as the order command will also set up. Two Devs will take that shade forward and actually try and push their way through right now. Misclicking the APM bar, sorry. Pretty peaceful. We've seen some cool games on this map as well, so this map's definitely been delivering so far. Has there been any maps we haven't seen yet from this selection of maps we've got available today? We've not seen anything from... We haven't seen 10,000 feet or Missing You Today, I believe, are the two maps we've not seen, so... Well, or maybe we haven't seen Throne of Dunes, because that was actually game 1 of the round of 16. So that one might be one we missed out as well, because we didn't get to see it game 1. You do see the Reapers and the Hellion there, going to throw a few shots off. Stalkers get there, Hellion goes down. We'll just be seeing the Nexus still building up and online. Marine Tank Banshee coming up. A couple of barracks on the way through. This Reaper again chased all the way down. It is not going to die though. Oh! I tell a lie, it very much so is going to die. It goes down there as the Adept reaches across and gets a final shot on the boy. And he will indeed drop. Banshee to the bottom right side. Nikaract bringing this over. Yeah, right around the bottom here, two Banshees join up together, and that's obviously the scary part, where two Banshees can obviously join up to absolutely get some work done. They just join together again, Stim in the +1 coming through. It's going to see the extra gates and the Forge coming about. The Nexus is about to complete, and those Banshees will take a step in toward the natural expansion. A couple of probes already going down. And the Stalkers will just be there, pushing them back to the other side. Point where Ordinary obviously would like to usually kind of get on the map and take control of those Stalkers, but that does leave you a bit more open to the Banshees maybe getting through for some damage. It's one thing for us to think on as we just see the Stalkers back up into the center. Again, down the bottom we go as the Banshees aim for the main mineral line. Hit probes going down immediately. Stalkers are going to be there, and the Banshees getting shot down. They get pushed away as now the Stalkers continue up the right side. So there's only one Banshee left. That's a little bit less scary than before. Obviously, batteries will heal through one Banshee of damage output, so that makes it a lot more manageable as our Stalkers continue to collect together here as well. We'll lose the Observer on the high ground. That goes to your high ground vision, so no blinking up any longer. And Ordinary will not find an opportunity there as the Bioforce gathers. Siege tanks joined and ready to make a play with this too, I'd imagine. in the next few moments, we look to get up, get out, and see what we can find for ourselves. The Biostims in, a couple of Stalkers already in some issue there. And the Stalkers actually getting chased pretty heavily. 2 Stalkers down immediately. That's a lot of Stalkers going down. A little bit scary for our Protoss, who is going to be down a lot of the units he would like to, use to defend. So missing those, not ideal. The rest of those bio units just going to back it up a second. Maybe the chance to dive in on the left-hand side now. Going to warp in a few more Zealots. The Colossus about to complete. Guardian Shield pops, so we're going to go for it. The tanks are still sieging. Great time to jump, and nothing protecting the tanks. They go down instantly. Funky, because we are going to end up turning around and we run into the Colossus, which makes that an easy pick-off. Stalkers blinking underneath. Medivacs being chased. Zealots chasing. This is a very good cleanup from Ordinary. Wow. I mean, he just got rid of the tank so effectively right at the very start of this. That made it not even close to begin with. And that definitely an impact, as well as our Stalker takes a blink forward. 7 probes went down. And I'm not sure actually where that was at during this, but 7 probes have fallen, so take note of that. But work count's actually fairly even, just for the moment. And Marine Marauder Medivac coming about, the starport coming through. See this orbital lifting off is going to float down toward the 3rd base. More Stalkers stepping in there. They're going to get a Marauder right off the bat as well. The SCVs are transferring. Nice from the Stalkers to just bully their way up. They've got plenty of numbers. And they've got the numbers to absolutely make a grab and get out without any losses. Fire will fight. The Stalkers get chased once more. Still going to see the Viking Marine Marauder all on the way out now. As we continue to chase. There goes another Stalker. There goes a Zealot. I mean, there's a bit of chasing power on the Terran army, but there's still the staying potential of Blink Stalkers on the map, and they're going to chase back in return. And again, starting to do what Blink Stalkers do, which is get a bit of free value already. So doing very well for yourself in that regard. More bio gathering to the top. The Stalkers rejoin themselves. Zealots turn up the right-hand side, looking for the chance to potentially make their way through here. The Marauder going to go after a couple of the Zealots. We do have them walking into the natural expansion. Over on the left-hand side, we join up together as well. The Zealots all go down. And the rest of this just gathering up in the middle. So we'll get set up. Colossus and the +2 coming through. Disruptor on the way. Armor upgrade will build. Still got the Zealots up to the top. And yeah, a couple of Vikings in production as well. How do we want to go about this? The hallucination will fly on by. A couple of Marines in that bunker are going to be able to get some damage off on that. Nicely done. The missile turret's about to finish. The Ghost Academy done in a few moments as well. Army of Ordinary is taking some steps toward the top. Pushing to the front. Fire pulls back the other way. You can see a lot of Zealots stored. Colossus, Disruptor in the center. Again, our armor upgrade coming through. Get all of that ready. Got Shrine on the way. A lot of kind of later game kind of just coming through. I like this army comp, man. Colossus, joined by a good amount of Disruptors. Obviously no Storms here, but playing that Robo style, and with the DTs coming online, you're going to give yourself a lot of potential with those Dark Templar as well, right? So a lot of opportunities kind of arising from that, as we are going to see the Zealot stalk Colossus making a dive through. The Bio going to take a bit of a jump forward. A couple of Zealots on the right side will just about slip by. Another Disruptor shot fires, but doesn't quite connect. 3 more Vikings in production. On the top side, it's going to be the Prism making its way back in, and the Zealots will be able to unload there with a bunch more warping in and a DT just to cause some extra chaos. So that's happening. Meanwhile, we've got to keep an eye on that main army, because that is likely to cause trouble at any moment, especially if we pull back too much as Nikaract. Nikaract actually going to end up in the fight. Disruptor shot goes forward. It's going to be good. Hitting a good chunk of the Bio, softening a lot up. Stalkers blink in, using the Disruptor again. Forcing Bio to walk into the Protoss army is not pretty. The Stalkers, we're going to get rid of the Vikings a little late. The 2 Colossus have gone down, but Nikaract is going to say GG. He's losing so many workers during this as well. And that is going to be the opening game. Going to Ordinary for this best of 3 qualifying series. Alright, we're going to go to game 2, which is going to be Nikaract's map pick. And that's going to be missing... No, it's going to be, sorry, it's going to be Ruby Rock. Misread. Which replay I was on. So we're going to get into game number 2 of this in a second. I just need to throw some ads up and we can resume. Alright. Who is Ordinary? Ordinary is Chance, who was a StarCraft player for a long time, still is a StarCraft player, but was a near to the top player for a long time, never really made a big splash in like big events. But in terms of the online scene, he's always been around, plays part-time still, plays every now and again, so yeah. And guys, if you want to balance wine, please remember that Nikaract also beat Nightmare to be in this series, so your balance wine literally makes no sense because you're complaining about a map loss when the guy literally beat a better Protoss player earlier in the day. So that's just... bring back the stupid comments, because I can already feel them sitting right on the edge of people's keyboards right now. Raw Minidia, how you doing? Thank you so much. 102-month resub. Appreciate you. Thank you very much indeed. What's up, Draft TV? How you doing? Thank you for the awesome stream. No worries. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Alright, let's jump into game 2. Marauders get one shot by Colossus after getting hit by Nova? That's a great question. I'm not sure what the number is. Marauders go very, very low after the Disruptor shot, so if it's not one shot, it's 2, but I don't know if it's 1. I actually don't know what the number is. I imagine with a stimmed Marauder plus a Disruptor probably does get Colossus. Like, they're pretty low HP, right? They're always in like the super thin red health bars, so I would imagine they do, but I don't know the math to say it with full confidence, you know? Down in game top left is Nikaract, as in the bottom right are Blue Protoss. It's Ordinary game in this series. What changes did Disruptors get last patch? They have their cooldown reduced. So Disruptors, I believe, fire every 17 seconds now instead of 21 seconds. So basically, you can just fire a bit more rapidly with a smaller set of Disruptors than before. You can fire more rapidly with Disruptors in general, and that obviously means that to keep constant Disruptor shots going, you don't need as many Disruptors. Did Marauders used to get one shot by Disruptors? Yep, that got changed a few patches ago, and they made the Disruptors a bit less deadly. Disruptors no longer one-shotting some of those slightly beefier units. That's one of these changes where so many people hated this change. I really thought this was such a good change. I think one of the, StarCraft 2 is a deadly game. It's a fast game and things die very quickly. But I always felt as though Disruptors were this... I always think one of the least fun things in StarCraft 2 is losing things before you have the chance to do anything about it, right? Or losing things off of like a random shot. Like, I always think it really sucks when a High Templar wanders in off screen and storms and gets a bunch of damage and just wanders away. Or when the one Disruptor shot catches you off guard and you're not watching and everything just insta-dies. Or the one Widow Mine blows up, etc, etc. So I always thought the Disruptor shot being like the Disruptor, if it connects, you still need a couple of units there to fully capitalize, otherwise you can recover from the Disruptor shot. I think it's a cool happy medium where if you're in a proper full-on fight, the Disruptor shot is still impactful because those units are super low HP and are more easily swept up and cleaned up afterward, right? So it's still very effective in that regard. The nerf really comes to the Disruptors if they just fire a shot and connect and there's no follow-up. Before they were getting all of the kills and now they don't. I always kind of liked that change. I always felt that was a good change where it meant that the Disruptor alone wasn't able to just hit the lucky shot and do it all. You needed to be committed to the fight to really capitalize on a great Disruptor shot. Anyways, following this Reaper around, as we do have also the Adept shading across the map, put some pressure on. But there's a bunker there. Ruby Rock has not got this ramp into the natural. So yeah, just very safe bunker early in this game, making sure we're not going to let too much pressure come toward us. Reaper goes for a little dive into the natural, gets a probe, so he's going to be rewarded with a kill. And then Adept just shades by from the low ground up toward the main for a few moments as well. That's the Heli Marine coming out, just having the rip around that bottom left-hand side. To finish off the wall off here with the gateway, a robo behind it. As we start to get our tech online beyond the blink. Would not be surprised to see Ordinary kind of go for a similar kind of route. It worked well for him, right? He got into a good army composition, clearly one he was comfortable with. And was able to put himself in a good position from there. So like I say, would not be too surprised to see something similar happening a second time around here. Let's just have the gateway and the robo coming up and online. We get this going. Aliens will come across with the Reaper, the Marines, and the Medevac settling to go as well. As we make our way down to the bottom side, the Hellions go out to the far right. Blink is going to be done soon. The Raven is on the way on the starport. We add 2 barracks onto this as well. And there is the Medevac in toward the main base. A good split of units. Looking for the chance to get some damage done. Nothing in the main base immediately is going to force a response, and that maybe opens the door, like we say, for the Reaper Hellion to come through. 2 probes going down already. At the front, the Reaper and Hellion will make a dive in. 2 Stalkers are still left here. We're going to warp in on the low ground as well. But there's still going to be quite a few probes going down, because 3 Hellions are very much so in one-shot range. And they'll get a lot of work done very quickly. Turns back around for some of the lower HP workers, and this is an 11 probe kill opening. Big damage done. Marines in the main base are still going as well. A little bit of life left on them for a couple final kills. It's 13 in total. Obviously, everything lost for the Terran player, but with serious damage dealt. Nikaract, as long as you don't die to an immediate Stalker counter, should be very okay with this. He doesn't have a lot of units, to be fair. The Raven's moving across the map. The ByuNs are only just started now in production. There's 4 Marines in a bunker. That really is the defense, but Ordinary is coming across with the Stalkers. I mean, he might just see the bunker and be afraid. If he had high ground and could blink straight in, high ground vision could blink straight to the high ground, that actually might be the biggest problem for Nikaract. I don't know if he has a way to really deal with these Stalkers if he has no bunker. The Observer's coming through. Because he's waiting on the Observer, though, it's a little bit longer, and that gives you a bit more preparation time. Now there's a couple Marauders there, and that might just be enough to help out. There's that Raven getting involved for the 3 kills off the first order turret. Observer sees the unit. It's just taking too long. Because we had to wait for the Observer specifically. Oh, I think he just stitched up the Observer. I was about to say, that makes it visible now. You gotta remember that Observer in surveillance mode becomes visible, no? Am I crazy? That doesn't look... oh, there you go. Yep, it is attackable despite no detection. A revealed Observer just doesn't always look... I guess when you zoom in, it's very obviously not cloaked. It's just not used to seeing it like that, right? As the Stalkers will try and play from afar, still using that surveillance mode for a little bit of extra reach on the vision. Of course, this is typically where you're going to see surveillance mode used now, rather than surveillance mode being kind of like, you know, before we would have stuck an Observer here and just surveillance moded it just for extra vision all around and left it AFK. Now you can't do that. Now you're going to have to keep your Observer a little bit further back if you want to surveillance mode it. Not there. It starts to scan for the kill, but it did definitely reveal itself because of that. And that was maybe a little bit too greedy in the end. That's going to be another one of those things the Protoss players are going to have to adjust to a little bit, just figuring out exactly where surveillance mode is okay to pull off and where it's not. And you see Nikaract already 2 Medevacs loaded up, as you see, heading to the right-hand side. That's a lot of potential damage in a game where he did a lot of work early. His opponent has been running around silly. The Raven has been annoying as well. There is nothing really over here. There are High Templar warping in. We do have High Templars to help us, but these are going to have to be in some heckin' good storms to make up for the fact that A, your third base is super late, and B, that you've also just taken so much damage in this game already. I mean, you're just not in a good spot. You are super reliant on the storms right here. I wouldn't say that's a great place to be in right now. I don't think those storms are looking to bring us back 20 supply. It's possible, though. I mean, you sit in the storms, absolutely anything can happen. Actually going to get a blink in on this force. Nikaract takes a moment to pull away, so the storm does a good amount, and it's a good start, but still nowhere near enough to truly say that we're kind of rectifying this position. We've still got a long way to go here as Ordinary to truly fix this. Another storm coming down. Marines take a few tickles. I mean, good first storms, but like I say, a long way to go, and it's going to get more difficult to land those because now we've got the ghosts on the way. As soon as the ghosts hit the map, Nikaract is going to feel way more comfortable and confident. And look at those upgrades. He's going to be 1-1 against 0-0. That's going to be a massive upgrade lead, just because it's going to take so long for Ordinary to start cutting away at that upgrade lead as well. Ghost gather, charge coming over. Viking gathering up overhead as we take a second. Is this not on the PTR? This is on the... Well, no, it's not on the PTR because there is no PTR. The patch is already live, so... No PTR, just straight up live games. Live updates. Yo, double feedback. The first two ghosts don't get to do much of anything, so that's a pretty heckin' good start for the Protoss. Those two ghosts not finding anything at all is a big deal. They're going to get a couple storms. Actually stacks those storms in the same place, which is not super great. Going around that right side, trying to poke in a little bit. What's up, Crash SC2? Thank you so much for your 4-month resub. I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing and supporting. Bio pulls back away to the top side, so it escapes back. A couple of medevacs going back over there as well, with the Viking included. Armory is going to finish very, very shortly, still having the Marine Marauder on the left-hand side. Auto turret comes in, couple probes going down. Nikaract has so much supply. Really about him feeling confident enough to just come across and start looking to take a fight, I think, at this stage, because he really is ending up in a very good position here throughout this game. It's been very comfortable for him. Been getting better. ByuN's gathering up with the medevacs there. We'll jump onto this Nexus. That's going to be a kill. Or cancel, I should say. So the Zealots, the probe, getting chased away also. Full storms, we step out of them pretty quickly, which is obviously good. Keeping that Bio army nice and healthy. We are nearly maxed out here as the Terran, and Nikaract should not be wasting much time once maxed out, trying to force a fight and take advantage of the fact that he's maxed in a game where he knows Ordinary is playing from anything but an ordinary position. It was a rough start. It was a lot of damage done early. It's been an extremely late third base into now a late fourth base. Like, everything is suggesting that Nikaract is looking golden here in this second game to tie us up, take us to 1-1, and push us to a game 3 of this qualifying matchup. Storm down, a couple of EMPs are launched. Bio back around to the top side as we drop another couple of EMPs down once again. Bio Viking pressing through. The Nexus is going to be right there. That's a cancel on the Nexus. Continue to step forward. Straight down. Stalkers get underneath. The medevac goes down there as well. Another nice grab. Ooh, the good storms. I mean, this is again where the storms are very good. You can't just run back and then re-engage through as easily. But that's also the end of the High Templar for now. There's a few more in the back there. Just need an EMP to kind of hit a few of those, and that'll help. You need some medevacs to heal up. Lack of medevacs right now is maybe the scariest thing for Nikaract. It's not that he doesn't have them, they just weren't there with the army, and they're going to get together now. "13 workers dying behind this, by the way. The Raven, not all of those right there, but obviously adding to that, as that Raven has just been annoying throughout. It's a good job by Nikaract, keeping it alive and keeping it in position to constantly have the threat of throwing in a little bit more damage and the threat of being able to do a little bit extra. Well, Zealots warp in over on the left-hand side. Bio Medevac joins up together. Push into the center of the map here. Zealot Stalker coming through. High Templars stepping up. When Storm drops down, a couple of Vikings have to back away from that. Another Storm or two just still coming into place on the left-hand side. The Zealot runs in. Planetary Fortress going to hit that nicely. It's going to fall. Medevac's getting absolutely shredded. Meanwhile, the drop into the main base is going to be the real danger point. I mean, Nikaract just has enough that forcing you to have to reposition and so is going to be scary. these storms. Honestly, I really do think that one of these weird side effects that we're going to see is that Storm is obviously still going to stick around a long time. That's very good. There is genuinely a downside to that where it is going to punish poor/lazy Protoss play, where if you Storm towards your own units and you don't respect that, you're going to take a ton of damage. If you Storm, you cannot then run into that position because that Storm is not just about to fade away like it used to. So I do think there's actually going to be this very weird position where, like, yes, Storm good, but also Storm hard to deal with, or Storm hard to make work, you know? Because, I mean, maybe not hard to make work, but hard to not kill yourself with as well. Like, we've seen a lot of Protoss players hitting themselves in the face with the Storms so far. A little bit of an unexpected consequence of changing the duration. Hero Marine said yesterday Microbial Shroud is affecting the opponent's units as well. Is that true? Yes. That's always how Microbial Shroud has worked. It's a it's something you put on the map and it affects that area. It's like a storm. It affects anything in that area. It does friendly fire as well, but in this case enemy fire. And it's usually only doing friendly fire. Every time Storm touches a Protoss unit, we're never going to hear the end of it. Not for the first week or two. Not for the first week or two. One thing about Storm is it's most effective in smaller low HP units, so the Protoss units are fat and high HP. So you think it doesn't affect as much, but we saw earlier, you know when you throw those Storms down to, like, say you get Lings running onto your high Templar and you, like, Storm on yourself to clean up the Lings, and usually the rest of your units are bulky enough that that's fine, because you absorb some Storm damage, it's whatever. Because Storm now lasts longer and does more, if you don't move out of those defensively placed Storms, you actually start losing a lot of HP. That happened in Rogue versus ZOUN versus Rogue earlier. And I would say it was genuinely kind of a thing where it was like, oh god, like that was a move that would have been completely viable before on Old Storm, and now you're going to have to play it probably a little bit differently, you know? So yeah, we are going to get into a map we haven't seen yet today. It's Missing You. It's Missing You today, right? Not, I was going to say Missing You tonight, but it's apparently Missing You today. As we have a very interesting looking map, like interesting color scheme. I don't know if I've ever seen a map looking like this color as I morph into the main, or zoom in, or spawn into the main base. Top left hand side. Our red Terran player is Nikaract. And the bottom right, our blue Protoss is Ordinary. How are you going to argue with that, Wardies? The NT units are literally smaller. Every unit under the Storm takes damage. By definition, Protoss units take less damage than Zerg and Terran units. Well, no, by definition, Protoss units take the exact same damage as Zerg and Terran units. More Zerg and Terran units will take damage in a single Storm, because more of them fit in a Storm. But that's not really the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that if you Storm on top of your own units, beforehand you could kind of absorb that damage, because Storm doesn't really kill much in the Protoss army at 80 damage. You know, that's usually shield damage you regenerate. 140 damage is much more serious. You're going to see health bars ticking down. Like, we've already seen it today where Protoss units in Storms have genuinely been in trouble. In terms of just, like, you Storm defensively, or even you Storm kind of, you know, you Storm and then you chase into the Storm, and usually the Storm would be gone, and then you take, like, you know, 60 to 70 damage as you run through chasing those units. It's definitely a factor. Missing you today. probe. And go down to the bottom right. You have to adjust your storm placement to be further in enemy territory. Oh, yeah, or just chase. I think we're actually going to see pros players play differently around storms they cast, right? Like, you're just not going to... At the end of the day, you can still chase units down as you storm. What happens now, I think, more than anything, maybe, is that... maybe this is easy to just display on the map. But say, for example, say you're defending your natural and you storm here and here, right? What usually happens is if you get good storms off, you're like, fuck, I want to chase those units. So you run through the storm. But running through that storm is now going to be more significant than before. Because before you'd storm, and by the time the units run away and you chase, these storms are disappearing. And now that's not the case. The problem is if you storm here and here, to try and kind of prevent that, first you've got to get your High Templar further forward, but then you've also going to have that situation where storming there and there maybe means the Terran's just going to see you trying to storm back, and then they're going to push forward. Like, the reason you're storming here is in the first place is the better place to storm. And it's also maybe where you need to storm. So there's going to be a lot of figuring out. Now, what happens is obviously, like I say, if you storm here, you know, say you storm 1, 2, 3, like in a line. That obviously before was a very common thing. But I wonder if now it's going to be more common to be like storm, and give yourself room to move through the storms chasing. So at least not all of your units take damage as you chase as well. Obviously that means you have less storms down, but it might mean that you're just not as liberal with the storms as well. There's a lot of small tendencies. I mean, we might be overanalyzing, honestly. I think there's a lot of small tendencies that are actually going to be interesting to see develop over the next few months. As pros players figure this new storm out, we move around it, especially as the opponents learn how to move around it and stuff as well. I think there's going to be a lot of... yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of figuring that kind of stuff out. It's going to be very interesting. Like, we are day 2 on the patch right now, you know? Like, people are using Storm like they used to use Storm, for the most part. It's going to take a lot of adjusting. I mean, Storm has been... Storm's had a couple of changes over time, but in general, Storm has been pretty unchanged for years upon years. So the fact that Storm is going to work differently now, it's definitely going to take some adapting. And in fact, going down the right-hand side, what mine's going to be there. New maps, yep, this is the Team Liquid map contest. 16 finalists going to be used today and then next week in the proper event, in the main event. And some of these will be your future ladder maps. So pay attention to them, take notes of which ones you like, and eventually vote on which ones you like as well. The higher voted ones in the TLMC do get considered a lot for the ladder, so your voting will count for a lot. You're wondering how to dive on a mothership with Storm lasting 6 seconds? I think that actually is one of the bigger things. We're all talking about Storm PvT. I actually think late game Storm PvZ is extremely good. Like, you're just going to have to sit through storms, I think. I mean, that's brutal, though. That's not really what you want, right? Yeah, it's interesting. Are they putting more attention into SC2? I mean, we have literally... This is the 21st TLMC. This event has been happening every year or twice a year for the last 12 years of StarCraft 2. This is this is not something new, different, or that's never been seen before. The only thing different now is that Team Liquid have taken charge of the new map pools. So the TLMC guys are going to help to redesign the new map pools, which means that before these maps were just sent to Blizzard and then were taken under consideration for the ladder. Now these maps will absolutely make up the ladder. Recall home. Sorry, we've got a Widow Mine drop in. That's going to cause a little bit of chaos. So we recall back, try and deal with this. Mine's going down. Too much damage dealt. Look at the units lost here. It's going to be 3 mines and a medevac. We only got a couple of probes. None of the stalkers went down. So ByuNs will continue to gather up. Stimpack, combat, +1, all coming through. Marine Marauder medevac on the way in. We had a command center on top of it all. The Prism splits away to the upper right hand side. The rest of the Stalkers to the upper left. few probes have gone down, a couple of medevacs on their way up. As the bio steps forward, and those couple of stalkers going to end up in some trouble right off the bat there. So a few shots coming straight through, and again, this bio force is going to take a stim in. Stalkers have to blink straight on out of there. Can't commit to that just yet. Storm damage feels similar, but the last 6 seconds. I still think they should have done like an extra like 5% nerf to Storm. It was like a 10% damage nerf, or DPS nerf, I should say. I really think it should have been like 15. If they were going to increase the time by that much, I think it should have been. I wonder why they didn't just go for like 10% in like 4.5 seconds. You know, like if you want to increase the duration a bit to make up for other things or whatever, fine. But I wonder why doubling the duration. The double is kind of a nutty change. Anyways, a little bit of a drop in to play defense against the Prism, and we will have ourselves everything else just returning back home. Ordinary is once again going to play this Robo style. So Colossus on the way up initially, probably switches into Disruptors, we say, just because we saw him do exactly that in Game 1 of this matchup as well. Units moving up, a few probes going down. The Raven there to get some kills. How many kills is Raven on already? 6, so he's been pretty good again at this Raven. It was the same in the last game. That Raven was able to get a good amount done over time. Still seeing our Vikings coming online, the armor upgrade coming through, Disruptor and the +1 upgrade coming up. There's our Forge and our Gates and our Robo coming online. We have some extra Zealots in as well. Everyone's on the move. Not a lot of dead airspace down here, is there? It's very narrow. I haven't told much about the map. There is a gold in the middle. You guys are seeing the map as we go. I'm going to talk more about the maps in depth next week when we get into the main event and so on as well. This is kind of a little bit of a sneak preview, a little bit of a taster as to what is to come with today's qualifying games. Like I say, a lot of the players that just miss out as well will likely also just receive invites into the tournament. There is a prize money benefit from qualifying though, and it's also a good chance to warm up on some of the maps. You know, anyone that plays in the qualifier is going to have a little bit more experience on these maps than anyone that doesn't play in the qualifier, right? So there's that to think about as well. Like instead, try and push the Prism back. They actually don't get the Prism. It's going to be allowed a recall. So Nikaract just getting caught up and not being able to pay full attention there. He cleans up, but that should have been a dead Prism. That should have been a Prism on the production tab. And it's actually kind of a big deal when your opponent's focusing on Robo production, because that means that you could have delayed a Disruptor. Instead, a Disruptor comes out, the Prism's up. You're never going to have to stop Robo production to build a Prism again, so... And not the biggest thing in the world, but like right now, there shouldn't be a Prism on the map right here, you know? So it actually means that this attack is ready to go way sooner than it would have been otherwise. Because then you also have the decision as Ordinary, do you cancel the Disruptor, build the Prism instantly, or do you actually just let the Disruptor finish, then build a Prism? Well, now you just have the Prism, so yeah, a little bit of a missed opportunity there. Vikings trying to find their position against those Colossus. Choked up area in that's working against both players, really. Shot hits just a Zealot at the front. Another Disruptor coming over. Fire going to stim. We are going to see the other units looking to try and get up that ramp as well. +2, +1 on the way through for the moment. We're looking to get by again. Disruptor firing. The ByuN unit split. Just see Nikaract dodging away for a moment. We're actually going to push straight in here as Ordinary Disruptors fire toward that Terran Force. It does split away. The Vikings overhead looking to get a good connection on this too. The Zealots of the Colossus going huge on the SCV line. 21 workers falling already. Bioforce coming around the other side as well. Those disruptors very much so remain in control. Man, Nikaract's army is just not getting anywhere. Extra upgrade definitely helping right now. Just in general, Ordinary looking good, and he's going to take game 3 of the series and qualify. This is always going to be a very fun matchup because both of them upset in the round of 16 to give us an underdog versus underdog round of 8. And it is Ordinary that comes out on top. Like I say, actually, it's good for Ordinary to qualify because honestly, there's more chance Ordinary didn't get invited than Nikaract because there's a lot of Protoss players in the world, you know? So Ordinary qualifying is actually very nice. Nikaract is probably on the short list of invited players depending on how many Terrans want to play as well. Like I say, the qualifiers are there as kind of a combination of anyone can then qualify, but also like you can show your interest in playing. That lets me know that maybe I can invite you as well. So there's double the reason for qualifiers to happen, and it gives us more games, which is really the main thing. You can complain about more games. Well, some people will because people are like that, but you know, someone will be like, "Well, Roddy, I have to watch more games now. I get to see more reasons why this matchup is broken and unfair and blah 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 blah." Alrighty guys, it's going to be ByuN versus Mana up next for our final series of the day. I'm just going to nip BRB a couple of minutes. We might do a bit of sponsored content after this, because I actually got a sponsorship pop up just this morning, so we might do that as well after, but I'll see what the viewership is looking like. It's either going to be today or tomorrow. I feel like we had 1,000 viewers today, so I'm pretty happy. So I'm just going to nip BRB a couple of moments, guys. We'll come back and get into ByuN versus Mana. I'll see you guys in 1 sec. Hello guys, and welcome back. We're going to be going into Mana versus ByuN as our last series of the day. Like I said, I do have a Twitch bounty to do after this. I just don't know if we're going to do it today or if we're going to save it tomorrow. The only problem with saving for tomorrow is I've got stuff to do tomorrow, so if I run out of time, that's not good. So maybe we just do it today out of safety. Yeah, let's get into this then. It's going to be Magnetic North once again to open the series off. I probably should have given all the round of 8 matchups different starting maps now that I think about it, but thought about that one a little bit too late. So yeah, one more time today, Magnetic North going to be the opening map of a qualifying best of 3. As we're going to have in the top right corner, the red Terran player. Probably going to be kind of the favorite here. Or is he? I mean, Mana's been playing well lately. I guess it depends on how good the patch was, huh? It's going to be ByuN in the top right-hand side, while in the bottom left it is going to be Mana TVP BO3 coming at you right now. And we even had Indy on this one, so I can even let you guys watch some proper observing rather than me floundering around trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Liquid Mana the same as Mouse Mana? Yeah, I mean, that's a throwback and a half, but Mana was on Mouse years upon years ago. That was, pretty crazy, actually. A long time ago. Yeah, Mana versus ByuN, TVP, best of 3. And, let's see what happens. So, best of 3. I would say ByuN's a favorite here. I honestly think he's still a favorite here, but it's close. I think Mana's absolutely competitive enough to make this a contest and make this competitive on either side of it. So let's see what happens. Let's see what takes place. Again, winner qualifies into the WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament. Is it 14? I think it's our 14th tournament, which is kind of wild that we've done so many of these at this point. I remember when I first got asked to do this event, and I was like, oh my god, that's so freaking cool. Yes, please, I want to do it. I mean, we've come a long way. We've changed the format a bunch over the years as well. Excited to bring another one to the screens. Like I say, the main event of this will be next week. So all next week, when I get back from my little weekend trip, Tuesday through Sunday, 6 straight days of new maps being played on the new patch with all the top players in the world, apart from the guys that don't want to play. But we usually get a very good lineup for these. Hero has already asked me to be invited. He said he couldn't play the qualifier today, but he'd love to play. So you get the idea that most of the top guys are going to be there competing. So yeah, a lot of the top guys are going to play. It's going to be a ton of fun. Like I say, every day next week, Tuesday through Sunday. 6 straight days of epic TLMC action. Kelly and a couple of Marines on the way up. Starport and the command center coming into place. Let me see where this TVP takes us. This map gave us that great game of Rogue and ZOUN. I actually really like seeing some of the later game army movement on this map on that one. I don't know what else we get. It's actually been, I mean, honestly, all the maps so far today have been pretty cool. I've been saying this for a while, but the last few TLMCs, and this has not always been the case. In the past, I'd say there was a bunch of TLMCs where it was very clear there was like 3 or 4 very good ladder contenders, then 3 or 4 maps that were very solid, and then a lot of maps that just weren't quite it. The last few TLMCs, I keep saying it, it's like you almost can't go wrong which maps you pick for the map pool. Apart from Last Fantasy. Sorry, Last Fantasy. But really, like, it's hard to say, like, any map would be a mistake for the map pool because they're all being pushed out at such a high level, such high quality. So many of the maps in this day and age are just so good. And that's why, I mean, we come into today, it's the first time a bunch of these guys play these maps, and you just see great games in them right off the bat because the maps are good, they're laid out well, the understanding of how to make a good map is so much better than it used to be as well. Like, we just truly see, like, so many solid maps coming through. We don't have any, forced weird things to happen. I mean, it used to be that TLMC used to be like, oh, you have to use neutral missile turrets, and 4 of the maps would have neutral missile turrets on, for example. Those things aren't a thing anymore as well, which probably helps too, but we really do just have so many solid maps now, which is amazing to see. As the Wooden Line drop comes in, is going to threaten a couple of probes. Phoenix are there, though. Mana's been stacking these Phoenix. He held them hidden in the main base for a little while as he tries to get rid of this medevac. Loses the Phoenix. He pulled the first Phoenix back so nicely, and unfortunately the second Phoenix goes down straight away. Let's get rid of the assimilator. A couple probes come through. Just going to be seeing the command center coming about. Cyclones, SCVs coming around as well. Phoenix coming over. More probes coming by as we do see 6 workers going down. Probe bay coming up. Assimilator on the way by. A lot of that coming over for the moment as we just see ByuN and Mana. We'll settle after that. So in the end, ByuN gets some good damage done. And I don't love it for Mana. You open Phoenix. They're meant to be such a safe way to open. Phoenix are meant to keep you very safe and defensive a lot of the time. Taking damage like that early is just not ideal. Those Marines showing up with the mine really kind of ruins your day a little bit there. So kind of taking some early damage, and I love the starting point for ByuN in this game number 1. Raven is going to be a little bit of a wasted investment because it's going to drop probably 2 auto turrets, and then it's going to go down to Phoenix. The Phoenix are across the map though, so hey, Raven may get a chance to try and make a getaway. I'd be surprised if it had any opportunity. Still gets full workers, a ton of lost mine time. Stalker's already pinging it. Like I say, the Phoenix on their way over. That Raven is as good as dead. Raven goes down. Here's the Cyclone gathering up. CC gonna morph in also and get that underway. Against Impact Combat and the +1, all building through. Marine Marauder medevac in production as we continue to settle down. In this game 1, again, the extended thermal lance coming about, the Colossus on the way up, the Nexus coming through, the probes in production as well. Got a lot of that on the way for now. Good missile turrets, gonna hit the Phoenix a couple times over as well, so a little bit of damage on those as we push back the other way. Stimpack Combat and +1. Building on in Marauder, Medevac, and Ghost Academy. The next step of this. We just have Stimpack finishing as our Ghost Academy really is not far from being done. The bar units will gather up at the front of the Naturals, just going to gather around there. The Phoenix going to join back up together as well. Combat Shield is a few moments away from finishing. Concussive Shell coming by also. And +1 attack, not far being done on the engineering base, so a lot of upgrades soon. Mana just Phoenix Colossus. I mean, we've just not seen a lot of Phoenix Colossus lately, because why the hell would you not build Storms, has been the general consensus. But yeah, gonna go Phoenix Colossus on this one and try and get set up with that and see what we can do with it as a couple Colossus gather up together. Again, +1 in the concussive shells coming through. The Ghosts, the Marauders, and the Vikings all coming about. You have the army of ByuN settling into the center. Bio joining up, the Cyclone right there. A couple of Vikings still joined up there. So Vikings coming through, Twilight and the Forge coming about, Colossus and the Phoenix coming online as well. Just see the Colossus going to fire a shot. Bio back to the upper right side. Hallucination gets grabbed right there as well. Just going to see the Bio joining up. A couple Ghosts join together. And yeah, the Armory is going to be on the way. The Engineering Base coming up as well. Continue to bring that through. +1 in the charge coming online from Mana as well. So get those upgrades on the roll. As we do see the Colossus about to complete. Nexus still building over the next few moments as well. Get the Cyclone and a couple of Ghosts there. Going to hit the Nexus already. The few probes stepping up and moving forward. Still got our air weapons. Our charge on the way through. At an attack upgrade to that. The Colossus going to try and get some damage done. The Phoenix are right there. Ready to show up and join in as well. Not afraid of getting involved. Colossus get a few hits. Just going to see the Cyclone taking damage. We're going to split once more. ByuN taking a good position. Not too many Vikings considering we're fighting Phoenix and Colossus. The EMP's definitely held. Look at those Ghosts get laser beamed down, by the way. They die so quickly if Colossus lasers hit them now. It's going to be one of the big factors that Terrans have to definitely kind of restructure their kind of opinions on in this matchup. And when I say opinions, I just mean, you know, your kind of mental, you know, your mental kind of preemptiveness of like, oh, I can take this fight and all the rest of it. Like I say, Ghost just going to be that bit more vulnerable against those Colossus. Definitely a little scary. And a couple of additional units just producing through, so we continue to get that on the way for now. Get that settled as we just have Jeff Bezos on the 57-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so very much. Storm going through. +1 air weapons on the way through. The attack upgrade coming up. Again, Vikings and Marauders continue to come about. +2, +1 on the way. Ship weapons coming online. Armies collecting just in the center. Templar's come pressing forward, EMP's coming down, and Templar dodge away. A couple of Stalkers and the Sentry in there as well. Setting up just for the moment. Time to see what we can get done. Bio Ghost around the left-hand side. EMP's on the High Templar. You see another Storm coming straight through. And I'm just going to have to sit tight here for a few moments. Those Vikings are still patrolling about for a little bit as well. As the army of ByuN thinking about where his next attack in is going to be from. I said this map was kind of interesting in terms of where you can attack in from earlier, especially with some of the stack defense brought up. There's a lot of choked areas that you've got to be very cautious about. Hitting on the left, a couple of Zealots are going to take some damage already. EMP on the Colossus, and the Colossus stepping straight through, taking a lot of shots immediately. One more Storm and the Bio has to step back. Nexus falls. Vikings chasing. Nice Storm. It's a lot of the Vikings. Storm's lingering for so long against the Vikings are a big factor. ByuN dodging around the rest of that Storm quite nicely. Where's the next Storm coming in from? Already dodging away from it. Doesn't do too much. Now you see the Phoenix going down. The Colossus starting to fall next as the Vikings are hurt, bruised, battered, but man, they have done their job. There's only one Colossus left on the map. That's the only thing the Vikings can still hit. There's actually a second, sorry. There's 2 Colossus left, but that's not bad considering where we started at. We have more Vikings on the way, and new Ghosts. Would not mind if ByuN backed off and repaired the Vikings before coming for a fight again. Why put them in a position where they're basically a storm away from dying off, when in reality they could go home, be super healthy, and go again. +3, +2 still building until +2 ship weapons coming online. Add that Liberator, add those Medivacs. My Templar still morphing in the Immortal in production as well. +2 and Blink. Our next little pieces that are going to come together with everything else. Army just down the bottom. Bio Ghost going to be right there. The EMPs go down. A couple more EMPs coming down. We'll see the next Storm coming straight through, and we have got ourselves an army that is ready to push down this ramp and get in position to make something happen here, I imagine, or at least it feels like it should. Storm coming down again. Army splitting. ByuN is still maxed out, and I think he's been very comfortable in this game. Always the player that's pressing in to potentially do more damage, looking for the Vikings to get that Colossus. ByuN's going to start disrespecting the Storms, running straight through here. Can he hit the High Templar on the high ground? He can with EMP number 1. There's one High Templar left. Can we get an EMP on that guy as well? We do have Ghost available. Misses the EMP, hits it this time. And just can't find the Storm he's looking for. And now he doesn't have any energy left. So now it's just going to be ByuN's Bio Army versus the world. He's also got to back up a clan of Vikings on the ground. Help with some damages. They don't have anything else to provide up in the skies just now. And it's not rebuilding the Colossus either. And this is going to be GG. ByuN was definitely kind of feeling pretty comfortable about this most of the way through, I would say. It was looking pretty good for him throughout. And just able to kind of keep control, not letting mana get any crazy kind of storms back into it or anything like that. And mana not able to recover in game number 1. We'll head straight to game 2, guys, as we get into our second map of this best of 3. I think we are going to do our sponsorship after this, guys. So if this is our last game, we'll go directly into the sponsored content. That's just letting you guys know. It is going to be a Twitch bounty, so obviously it's not going to be live on YouTube. But if you're on Twitch and you want to support the stream for free, literally just keep watching. The bounties are the ones where we get paid per viewer. So the more views we have throughout the entire hour of the sponsorship, the more money we get, the more StarCraft we can afford to run. Okay, number 2. ByuN in the top right, mana in the bottom left. If you guys are enjoying it and you want to support in general, obviously don't forget to, do the usual follow, like, subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, you've got a Prime sub available. You can Prime us up to help out a whole bunch as well. Always appreciate it. And if you're really enjoying, you can obviously go one step further and subscribe regularly, gift subs, all of the usual stuff helping us to keep on running the StarCraft 2. We're sitting about 475 subs right now, guys. I know we've been away and stuff, but I'd love to start getting us back above 500. Realistically, we need to get back towards 700 if we want to keep on confidently and continuously running tournaments like we do. So do consider supporting. Without you guys, we can't make tournaments happen. So do consider supporting the channel. I appreciate it if you do. How am I meant to say that name? Sau on the Prime sub. Thank you so much. I don't know if that's what you were thinking of when you wrote a name like that, but we'll go for it. I'd say feel free to correct me, but I'm not sure how you're going to correct me on this one. But I'll listen. I'll listen. It's like, well, actually, what you went ooh, and it's more of an ooh. STV. I'm going to be there to nibble at the probe. Folder coming up, command center, and the tech lab coming through. Concussive shells coming up, Marauders on the way by, and center and the barracks coming up as well, so we get that on the go, get that moving just for the moment. Extra barracks, and so we're going to see a 3 racks here, so ByuN straight to the bio play, going to get going with that initially. And all accounts are coming through. It's going to be mana's opening, no surprise there. There's going to be a scary moment where I guess the idea that ByuN's going for is that there's no easy force field position here, right? So you go concussive shells, whatever, you do some harassment early. There's no easy force field position to stop him getting to the high ground. And then it's going to be not an easy situation to stop a full-on stim on the natural. And I think that's a lot of what we're going to be looking at here defensively. So we'll see what happens. Stim in the +1 coming up. Blink on the way. A couple of gates coming by. A couple of Marines get after that hallucination. It takes a good few shots, so a few hits coming by initially. Like I say, we'll see how powerful this stim can be. Second time on White Rabbit. This one has been interesting. This one had that fun position earlier. We'll see if we get to a later stage game to maybe see some of those base layouts again. Station moving by. Actually, we'll see the bio units coming. No stim, no blink just yet, so stim is obviously about to be done. there's not a lot to really deal with this group of units. Like, the Stalkers are honestly in a little bit of danger. Remember, this was a concussive shell opener, so the Marauders getting hits off is guaranteeing kills. And so some value there for ByuN. He will back off for a moment. He lost a few units in this. I mean, man, I got some value out of this, but I'm still afraid considering ByuN has that stim ability. Guess we'll see what maybe happens. Blink still coming up, Prism on the way. Starport is coming online. +1 attack upgrade coming through on the engineering bay as well. As all of the bio pulls back into the natural. Prism is about to complete. Forge on the way. Temple Archives is now on the way through. Forge about to finish. The Observer building up. Combat shield and +1 continue to come about. Stalkers get all the way to the top of the map for the moment. Start hitting, Bunker in some trouble. Bring back, Marine and Marauder popping out as well. It's going to be seeing the Marine Marauder combat shield. I mean, we are set up with the medevac shortly. It's going to be another wave of aggression. Obviously, last time we poked into the center, we didn't go much further. Storm is just nowhere near being done for mana, so that just started, and realistically, ByuN's going to be across the map soon, at least looking to see if there's a chance to do something with bio and medevacs. And Storm and Charge both building through, heading to that bottom left side. A couple of gateways coming up from mana. Top of those Stalkers, get some damage done. I see a bunch of the Stalkers going down. 3, 4. That's a lot of Stalkers dead. Mana's in trouble. Sentry's not in position either. It's going to go down without doing anything. High Templars don't have Storm yet. ByuN's going to respect that he might have Storm. That's how late it is. ByuN is not against the idea that Storm could be finished, so he didn't just stim in for the win. And that should give you, like I say, an indicator of the fact that Mana Storm is really not on time right now. Especially considering this was not a super fast third base either. Now ByuN is realizing he can still get rid of these Templar. Storm is just not there. And without that Storm, there's just not going to be much of a chance or anything on this one. Probes are going to pull, but GG is going to be called. And ByuN is going to take game number 2 of this BO3 just like that. GG's, guys. What a fun qualifier, honestly. Just a fun set of games. Really enjoyable. Enjoyed our games, honestly. I enjoyed them a lot. It was a lot of fun. Some upsets as well. Some really cool upsets to see. And honestly, a good teaser of the maps to come. So our qualified players today are Chance, or Ordinary, Classic, ByuN, and Rogue. And again, all of those guys will be qualified. There's a good chance the players you saw getting close but not quite close enough today will be invited. As well, obviously, this is not just like you don't qualify, you don't make it. We do have quite a lot of invite spots available. But obviously, it's good for us to have a qualifier. Qualifiers serve a very good purpose a lot of the time, so. Alright guys, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to be saying goodbye to you, but if you're on Twitch and you want to support the stream for free, you can stick around. So yeah, you can stick around because we're going to be doing a Twitch bounty. Twitch bounties are little sponsorships that come through Twitch, and it's super simple. All you got to do is stick around. If you just leave the stream on, yeah, if you leave the stream on, it will support and it will help us to run more StarCraft and stuff in the future. We're going to be playing Marvel Rivals for the next hour, which is exciting because I actually played a bunch of Marvel Rivals on the last time we did a bounty. I actually ended up playing it as like my main game for a little while. It was fun, but I've not played in a while. So yes, if you're on YouTube, I will see you guys later. If you're on Twitch, like I say, even if you just stick around 5 or 10 minutes extra, that still adds into the viewer times hour kind of situation.